6 years ago, Quinteron lost his parents and was so heartbroken he wanted to die. All they left him was a single ability book, but even after 6 years, the young man was still useless. He couldn't open the book. Then, right after being beaten to a pulp, he happened to bleed on the cover and was fortunate enough to receive the powers of a vampire. He immediately became bloodthirsty and his strength soared. Backtracking to a few days ago, after finishing high school, the students were cheering, congratulating each other on finally graduating. These classmates were slackers who didn't understand the point of studying. When everyone already has powers, I really don't get this era. Everyone's trying their best to improve their superpowers, so why does school still force us to take tests and do assignments every day? Immediately, a girl with a broader perspective chimed in. She explained it to her friend. It's basic education. Not everyone can make a living off their superpowers in the future, you know. There are even people in our school who can't afford an ability book. They have to wait until they join the army to be officially assigned an ability. Hearing that the poor kids who couldn't afford a book would get one for free made that guy furious. What? They're giving out ability books for free? Those poor brats have it too easy. My family spent a fortune to buy this thing. The guy walking ahead was a classic rich kid, so he didn't care about such trivial matters. What's there to be jealous about? None of those free assigned skills are any good. If it weren't for the rule that all graduates have to spend another 2 years in the military academy, they probably would never even get a chance to have superpowers in their entire lives. Regardless, those guys were still very jealous of the privileged kids with superior abilities. Speaking of jealousy, it should be about those who were born with superpowers. Now they're the real chosen ones. Back then, if they hadn't shared their superpowers, we would have never had the chance to use ability books to become superhumans. The guy in the lead seemed to know a lot about the nobility, so he understood it well. It's not like they had another choice. The Deji tribe was already at their doorstep. If they hadn't stepped up, we all would have been done for. Hearing this, the girl became terrified of war and wanted to back out. War is too scary. In any case, I'm not going to the battlefield. Whoever wants to go can go. The girl who had been peeking around just now was waiting for someone. It seemed she'd found the person she was looking for. The guy from before was a true rich kid. His family had already determined his future before he even graduated. My dad has arranged everything. As long as I can raise my enhancement ability to level 5 during my time at the military academy, the family's beast armor and weapons business will be handed over to me. Just then, Jelly appeared, instantly becoming a topic of admiring and adoring conversation among the girls.
It's Jelly! He came to school today, too. He's even more handsome in person than in his pictures. I wonder which military academy he'll be assigned to. It's got to be the best one.
After all, he's the only level 4 superhuman in our graduating class. She didn't seem to want to miss the chance to express her feelings, so she went up to him and whispered,
Jelly, could I bother you for a moment?
As soon as he saw her, he recognized her. Oh, it's you. What's up? It was her first time approaching a guy, so she was hesitant and shyly asked, It's nothing. I just wanted to ask if you're free tonight. To go get a meal together. Hearing this invitation, Jelly thought, Tonight? Well, I don't have anything special planned. And so she mustered all her courage to make the offer. Just then, from behind, the shouts of some thugs chasing someone could be heard. Queen, stop right there! You dare run? Only an idiot would stop while being chased. So he fearlessly flipped them the bird. Queen's mouth was even fouler as he turned to provoke the thugs. See this finger clearly, you dogs! Being insulted like that made the two thugs furious, and they sped up. You mutt, you're asking for it. Don't let me catch you. It seemed he wasn't afraid of anybody. So he arrogantly taunted, Ooh, I'm so scared. While running, he wasn't looking ahead and bumped right into Jelly, falling hard to the ground. Ow! The girl saw that Queen seemed to be in a lot of pain, so she moved to help him. Are you okay? But as soon as she got a clear look at his face, she quickly pulled her hand back. Hey! Then the two thugs caught up and started beating him relentlessly. Run! I told you to run! Still want to show me your fingers, huh? Come on! Show them to me now! Feeling how brutal the beating was, she became very worried that something bad would happen to Queen. Just then, Jelly witnessed her reaction. He immediately took action, using his power. But instead of attacking the two thugs, he attacked Queen. The passers-by, having seen the brawl, started to gather around in confusion. Huh? What's going on? What is this? Are they fighting on the last day of the entrance exams? After attacking Queen, he just dusted himself off and left. He didn't forget to add a warning. Watch where you're going next time, you useless trash. As for Queen, he was left in a pathetic state, sprawled on the ground amidst the murmuring crowd. That black-haired guy. It's him again. How boring. Let's go, let's go. After seeing him take a hit from Jelly, the two thugs decided to let it go. You got lucky. You blocked one of Jerry's regular moves? You probably wouldn't even get the chance to stand next to him normally, huh? It's the last day and you're still causing trouble for us. Watch yourself from now on. Don't let us see you on the streets again. As he walked ahead with her, he asked, "Are you pitying him?" Eager to win his favor, she denied it firmly. "Not at all. I just couldn't see clearly who he was." But Quinn is already this pathetic, still getting mocked by everyone with no one to help him. DSC, what happened just now? Feels like I missed a good show. Didn't you see it? I don't get why that idiot dared to mess with Jelly again. Oh, that short kid? Isn't he pretty well known? What's his name again? There's a guy in our class named Quinn, or Queen Flower or something. Anyway, he still doesn't have a superpower. He just lives off a stipend, a complete nobody. You don't even know the names of the people in our class? Why, you want to know him so badly you want to be his friend? I think he'd definitely be thrilled. Thanks for your kindness, but spare me. I'm afraid his uselessness might rub off on me. Covered in injuries, he turned and walked away dejectedly. Suddenly, a wave of emotions stirred within him. It's like this every day. Don't those people ever get tired of constantly competing? That's right, in this era, not having a superpower is the original sin. Forget about fighting the Deji tribe. You're discriminated against right here in school. Quinn walked on hopelessly when he overheard the news broadcast. Today marks the 5th anniversary of the signing of the Peace and Ceasefire Treaty with the Deji tribe. In the context of peaceful development, the situation in some regions of the world remains unstable. We call on all peoples and regions to understand and support one another, and avoid letting tensions escalate once again. Tomorrow I'm heading to the military academy. If I still can't master a superpower, I'm afraid nothing is going to change. When he returned home in a gloomy mood, he couldn't help but notice the wooden box on the table. Quinn couldn't resist opening it. Inside was an ability book. Flashing back 6 years ago, when Quinn was just a little boy, 2 men in black had already come to bother him. "Excuse me, is this the residence of Quinn Talon?" He saw that the 2 men were huge, and they were strangers. Being just a kid, he answered fearfully, "Yes, who are you?" In response to his question, the 2 men in black revealed their identities. "We are official representatives of the Special Action Force. We regret to inform you that your parents have died in the war against the Deji tribe. Through our investigation, we could not find any relatives or family who could take you in." Suddenly receiving the news that both of his parents had passed away brought tears to Quinn's eyes, because from now on, he was an orphan with no mother or father. Besides informing him of his parents' deaths, the 2 men in black had more to say. "Therefore, until you come of age, the government will cover your tuition and living expenses. Additionally, here is an inheritance left to you by your parents. Although there are no cash assets or other equivalents, this ability book surely has some value. Whether you wish to sell it or keep it is your decision. If there are no issues, please sign here." The first time he touched the ability book, his heart was a mess. Now, in the present, holding the ability book in his hands again, Quinn asked himself, "Mom, Dad, why did you have to go to the battlefield back then?" "Leaving me all alone. All you left for me was this ability book that I can't even open." And so, he tried his hardest to open the ability book. But no matter how hard he tried, it was all for nothing. As expected, it still wouldn't open. What on earth am I supposed to do? I guess the only way is to go to the military academy and get a book distributed by the government. But compared to this ability book that I can't open, I'd rather you had left me a photograph. I'm starting to forget what you two even look like. While lost in his memories of his deceased parents, Quinn's nose suddenly began to bleed. A single drop landed precisely on the ability book. The sudden nosebleed startled him. He hurriedly grabbed a tissue to wipe it. Damn it. I must have pushed myself too hard. My nose is bleeding again. After wiping it for a moment, the ability book was clean again, which made Quinn feel relieved. Phew, at least it could be wiped clean. But then, he saw something surprising. The ability book, which he couldn't open before no matter how hard he tried, was now glowing with a red light. Quinn was quickly pulled into a boundless space, because the ability book had opened, much to his surprise. The book is open. When the ability book opened, it transformed into energy and shot straight into Quinn. Being forced to receive so much power at once, a splitting headache immediately hit him. "What's happening? It's forcing its way into my head!" This ability book seemed overly forceful, compelling Quinn to accept all of that immense power, causing him great pain. After the fusion process ended, Quinn was gasping for air. Gasp, cough, and collapsed to his knees. My head
hurts so much.
Just then, a system window appeared. Congratulations, you have received the blood-sucking ability. After that splitting headache, I was so dazed I couldn't process the information I received. Blood-sucking what? He completely collapsed on the ground. Queen fell unconscious from the headache, which caused him to recall some unhappy memories from the past. Back then, he saw 4 kids having fun playing with a ball. He wanted to have friends to play with too, so he hesitantly asked, Can I join you guys? I want to play with you too. But as soon as they saw it was Queen, the kids quickly ran away. Queen, stay away from us. We don't want anything to do with you. Why even bother with him? He's the type with no upbringing. He's no good. Shunned by his peers, he then received the news that his parents had passed away. Queen, your parents have sacrificed themselves. It seemed as if the most basic affections in the world were not meant for him. He couldn't even clearly remember his own parents' faces. In his unconscious state, someone suddenly woke him up. Queen. 2. Queen Taryn! Hearing his name, Queen instantly snapped awake. Outside his door, 3 people were standing there. One announced, I'm counting to 3. If you don't open this door, I'm breaking it down. As he finished speaking, he began the countdown. 1, 2. Before he could get to 3, Queen managed to run to the door. When he opened it, he saw the person standing there was Sergeant Grieve. Seeing that Queen had wasted his time, he demanded, What's the matter? You're just opening the door now? Realizing it was Grieve, he became frightened and replied, Yes, sir, I overslept. That excuse was completely unacceptable, so he shouted angrily, 2 minutes! I'm giving you 2 minutes! Pack your things and get in the car now, I don't want to waste any more time. Yes, sir! Because he had been unconscious, Queen hadn't packed yet, so he just started grabbing things randomly. Yes, sir! Oh crap, oh crap! How did I sleep until morning? I remember I was studying the ability book when I got home. Speaking of the ability book, Queen frantically searched for it. That's right, where's the ability book? Then, as his memory returned, he vaguely recalled, I think I opened it. Then he subconsciously saw his battered glasses, broken in 2 on the ground, and he panicked. Huh? My glasses are broken again. Looks like I'll have to get a new pair this time. This is no good. But when he wiped away his tears, he suddenly noticed something strange. That's weird. I don't think I'm nearsighted anymore. Unbelievable. This news truly left Queen so shocked, he was speechless. Before he could even think about his eyesight being fixed, he heard Grieve yell, Queen Taryn! How much longer are you going to make me wait? And just like that, he had no time left, and hurriedly finished packing his things. He had just gotten his stuff out of the house, when he heard him yell again. What's with the dawdling? You think this is a vacation? Knowing it was his fault, Queen didn't argue back and just accepted it. No, I'm sorry. Seeing his repentant attitude, Grieve's anger subsided a little. Get on and find a seat. Yes, sir. Afterwards, Queen got on the vehicle and saw the seat next to Jelly was still empty, so he asked to sit there. Excuse me, could you let me in for a second? Only after asking did he realize who was in front of him. It's Jelly. He seemed to really dislike him and coldly replied, It's taken. Being rejected like that, he looked down at the other seats. He saw that everyone else looked annoyed, leaving him at a loss for what to do. Ugh. All he could do was lament his fate. What rotten luck. It seems like there are no other seats left. Not knowing what to do, Queen looked at Jelly again, as if pleading. Jelly immediately put on an annoyed expression and scowled. What, you got a problem? But while he was awkwardly stuck, he saw a kind-hearted classmate waving at him. Hey buddy, come sit here, this spot's free. This finally getting a seat made him feel grateful. Oh, okay, thanks. He praised him silently in his head. What a genuinely kind person. As soon as he sat down, Golden proactively reached out to shake his hand and introduce himself. Hey there, I'm Golden. Queen was also happy to shake his hand. Hi, I'm Queen. Just then, the system appeared with an angry status. It came with a notification. Skill activation detected. This skill has been denied. Confirmation required. A system window appearing out of nowhere like this left Queen stunned, then utterly bewildered. What is this thing? Can't he see it? I wanted to be sure whether Golden could see the system or not. So Queen pointed at the system and asked about it, but seeing Queen's extremely strange reaction confused Golden. Huh? Weird. After that, Golden got worried that something was wrong with him. He quickly pulled his hand away and asked about his ability. Sorry about that. What's your ability? When asked about his ability, he immediately denied it. I don't have a superpower yet. He couldn't understand why he was suddenly being asked this after hearing Queen was coming to the academy. The fact that he didn't have an ability surprised Golden even more. Oh, really? This is the first time I've ever met someone in this situation. Knowing he was both useless and different, he could only sigh in resignation. It seems people like me are pretty rare. I'm sure everyone else our age has already gotten their superpower by now. As they were chatting and getting friendlier, they were once again silenced by Reeves shouting, "What's all the noise? Shut your stinking mouths for me. You think you're on a picnic?" Do I need to remind you all of the military academy's rules right now? As soon as the cadets heard that shout, they immediately covered their mouths. After that, the two could only look at each other awkwardly. Once he had a quiet moment to himself, Queen started thinking, that thing from before. It kept flashing in front of my eyes. Is it related to the ability book I opened yesterday? Only I can see it. A system. Then a status window with his information appeared. Current level, 1. Race, human. Name, Queen Taryn. Basic attributes, strength 10, agility 10. Besides that, Queen received a lot of other information. It seems like a lot of other information was simultaneously transferred into my head. Could it be that the ability book merged with me in this form? Just thinking about it made him excited as he came to a conclusion. Doesn't that mean I have a superpower now too? But as the vehicle drove towards the academy, Queen was completely focused on studying the system. What kind of ability is this? None of these interfaces have any important information. Sitting next to him, Golden noticed that Queen was acting very strange. He started to think something was wrong with his head. At that same moment, the vehicle drove out of a tunnel and into the light. The light immediately streamed in, causing Queen intense pain. I don't understand what's happening. What is this? At the same time, the system blared multiple warnings. System warning. Your body is directly exposed to sunlight. All attributes are currently reduced by 50%. Queen's life was in grave danger, with all of his attributes cut in half. The sudden drop in everything pissed him off. Damn it! But with lightning-fast reflexes, he pulled the window shade down. That was just a little bit of sunlight. This ability's weakness is way too critical. Once he avoided contact with the sun, Queen's stats were restored, much to his relief. Thank God they can recover. Does this mean from now on I can only be active while avoiding the sun? Golden, sitting beside him, saw that he looked unwell and asked with concern, "Hey man, what's wrong? You look really pale." Hearing his concern, he quickly made up an excuse to keep him from getting suspicious. "I'm fine. I probably just didn't get enough sleep last night." So, worried something might happen to him, Golden opened a bottle of water and handed it to him. "Here, drink some water. We've still got a long ride ahead of us. You can try to get some sleep first." Queen quickly took the bottle and gratefully drank it all. "Thanks." Just as he finished the water, the system appeared out of nowhere and praised him. Excellent water consumption. Then it simultaneously issued a daily quest. Drink 2 liters of water. Reward received, 5 experience points. Because this notification appeared so suddenly, it caused Queen to choke and spit water all over the person sitting in front of him. The cadet's sudden yell was so loud it caught Reeves' attention, who issued a warning. "What's with all the screaming? You think you're funny or something?" Seeing that he was being misunderstood, the cadet quickly tried to explain, No, it wasn't me, instructor." But he wouldn't listen and angrily shouted, "Get over here now!" The cadet still tried to defend himself. No, it wasn't me, sir." At that moment, the system announced, "Quest complete." On top of that, it even praised him enthusiastically. Excellent work. This made him think in disbelief, drinking water is a quest now? Golden, who witnessed everything, advised him, "Drink slower, don't choke again." After that, the system displayed a series of quests. Quest 1. Drink 2 liters of water daily. Quest reward, plus 5 experience points. Quest 2. Avoid direct sunlight for 8 hours. Quest reward, plus 5 experience points. Quest 3. Reach level 10. Quest reward. Unlock shop. I've never heard of a book with this kind of ability. Other people's superpowers all revolve around a single, unique ability. After awakening, they have to follow the contents of their book to constantly strengthen that ability. But as for me, why does it feel like I'm playing a game? I still haven't even been able to figure out what my ability really is. Right now, besides my improved vision, there don't seem to be any other changes. Filled with this curiosity, Queen wanted to ask Golden a few questions about his ability, but he saw that the boy had already fallen fast asleep. How did he fall asleep so fast? Then, he subconsciously looked over at the other students and saw that every single one of them was asleep, which puzzled him. That's weird. It looks like everyone else is asleep too. He seemed to figure out the problem when he saw smoke swirling inside the vehicle. At the same time, the system announced, abnormal substance detected in the air. Your body feels tired. Resistance +1. Your resistance to this substance has increased. Resistance +1. After wearing a gas mask for 1 round only, Queen wasn't unconscious, so I have to raise my assessment of him. It seems there are still a few who can resist the knockout gas, so I'll have to pay special attention to you. And with that, he quickly threw a bag over his head. He even remembered to order his men, "Give this little guy a little extra juice." Seeing this, the system, afraid something would happen to him, frantically announced, "Abnormal substance detected in the air. Your body feels tired." Although the system had issued many warnings, Queen still couldn't fight off the anesthetic gas and slowly drifted off. So, sleepy. I can't even keep my eyes open anymore. After some time had passed, the sack was taken off Queen's head. Wendy, who had woken up earlier, immediately asked, "Hey buddy, you were really out, huh?" After waking up, he just felt dizzy and confused, shocked. Where are we? There were currently only 5 people in this space. Based on his own thoughts, he predicted, "I guess we've probably arrived at the military academy, but I only woke up a short while ago, so I'm still not clear on the situation." This cold, blonde girl is Aylin, and the short-haired, dark-haired girl behind her is Layla. Seeing that Queen had finally woken up, she commented, "The 5th one is awake." The last person was their friend, Peter. You guys? Just then, the sound of approaching footsteps caught Queen and Golden's attention. They saw the examiner appear, remarking, "Oh, looks like this group is all awake. We can begin arranging the tests." The person walking behind him, perhaps afraid the students would worry, reassured them, "Don't worry. This is a supernatural ability test before entering the academy. When your name is called, step forward." He then called each person up one by one. "First, Peter Jack." Hearing his name called first startled him. "Me?" Meanwhile, Queen was getting very worried. He didn't understand his own abilities yet, and they were already being tested right after arriving. "I don't even know what my ability is yet." The examiner knew Peter was worried and quickly reassured him in a friendly tone, "Don't worry, kid. What is your ability?" Faced with this question, it seemed he didn't know much about himself either. I don't have an ability." Layla, upon hearing this, seemed to find it unbelievable. Wow, are there really people with no abilities? Golden wasn't so surprised. Instead, he had an indescribable faith in everyone. What's the big deal? There's still time to awaken one now. Now that there was someone else like him, he felt more at ease. So, there's someone else like me in our batch, huh? Hearing that Peter had no ability, the examiner didn't pay it much mind. That's okay, Peter. Come here, take this. He could also receive a supernatural ability. Just like that, he was given an ability book, which made him incredulous. Is this really free for me? Really? The examiner confirmed without a hint of hesitation that the ability book now belonged completely to Peter. Yes, of course. For now, I'll temporarily classify you as a level 1 ability user. When you have free time, study this book carefully. Once you learn how to use it, you can participate in a re-evaluation later. His current level was level 1. Realizing he could be like everyone else, it made him feel grateful. Thank you. Afterward, the others also received bracelets one by one. The sudden appearance of a bracelet like this startled Queen. Huh? A bracelet? When did I put this on? Layla, however, was very calm, as if she already knew some information about the academy. Stop staring, everyone's got one. I heard all of our information is stored in it. It works as a school access card, and you can even use it to buy snacks. Behind them, Golden, knowing the bracelet had so many convenient features, got excited. You think it's handy too, right? With Peter's ability situation resolved, the examiner called the next person. Next up, Quinterone. Hearing it was his turn surprised him. Oh, it's me. As soon as he was in front of her, the examiner asked directly, Quinterone, what is your ability? He really couldn't understand why she was asking again when she clearly had his file in her hands. So he immediately answered honestly, I don't have an ability. Right away, she took out another ability book. So you're the same. Here, take this. The moment Queen touched the ability book, the system immediately announced, cannot learn this ability. Would you like to exchange this book for 10 experience points? Confirmation required. But faced with the system's notification, he reconsidered. Each person can only awaken a single ability, since I can't learn a new one. A confirmation request appeared, but upon seeing the system notification, he reconsidered. Each person can only awaken a single ability. It's impossible to learn a new one. Then I probably really am an ability user already. But can this ability book really be exchanged for experience points? I really want to try it, but I'm afraid that if I do, I'll have to face endless questions. The examiner was about to call the next person when he was suddenly cut off by him. Examiner? She truly didn't understand. What on earth is Queen trying to do? The proctor offered a kind reminder. Are you sure you don't want this? This ability book is a free gift. If you miss this opportunity, then you'll have to find a way on your own. Even after being advised to this extent, he still insisted on returning it. Yes, I understand. I'll handle this myself. This seemed to be the first time this had ever happened, so the two examiners looked at each other, then stopped Queen. Please wait a moment. She stepped aside to contact her superior for guidance. There's an unusual situation to report. A student named Queen Tyrone doesn't want to accept the ability book. Upon hearing this, the superior was a bit puzzled. Is he a member of the Pureblood faction? But she didn't think so. I'm afraid not. His file doesn't list any special abilities. And he isn't equipped with any beast gear weapons either. I see. And with that, the superior quickly offered a solution. Give him a test to see his potential. If he's just an ordinary person, let him fend for himself. The cruel world will teach him his lesson sooner or later. After hearing the instructions, the examiner quickly complied. Yes, sir. So she quickly invited Queen to the testing area. Sorry to keep you waiting. Since you don't want to accept the ability book, we will proceed with a direct evaluation. Seeing that the testing area was outdoors made him hesitate. Then, the 7 of them moved out to the field. The examiner announced the objective of the test. Destroy the 3 automated targets as quickly as possible. For someone like him, who has the abilities of a vampire, being exposed to sunlight like this makes fighting extremely difficult. His vision of the things in front of him started to blur. Not only did he feel exhausted, but his sight had also become hazy. Is it because I'm under the sun? There's no other way. I'll just have to risk it. And so Queen swiftly threw a punch at the mannequin. The examiners on the side immediately got a reading. His strength was a 5. It was the first time she had ever witnessed someone with such a low strength level. She was dumbfounded by how unbelievable it was. So weak. Then, as Queen ran towards the mannequin, it detached its arm, aimed it at him, and fired 3 shots. It was clear that he was having a very difficult time fighting the 3 mannequins. On top of that, his agility was only a 5. The examiner had thought Queen must be incredibly powerful to refuse the ability book, but it turned out he was as slow as a snail. So she turned away in disappointment and made an announcement as the test concluded. Your physical abilities are equivalent to a level 1 ability user. Queen Tyrone, you may go. His current level was 1. The score the examiner gave him was the same as the one displayed by the system. If I upgrade my stats in the system, my physical strength might increase along with them. But to be constantly affected by the sun like this is really frustrating. Then the examiner called the next person, Layla Mulu. Hearing it was her turn to show off, she was overjoyed. It's my turn, I'm here! Golden, on the other side, was afraid he might be feeling down, so he offered him some water and did his best to console him. Don't be discouraged. You still have 2 more years to improve. Receiving such kindness made him very grateful. Thanks. Queen could finally breathe a sigh of relief. No longer standing under the scorching sun, hiding in the shade was so much more comfortable. The examiner then asked, Layla Mulu, what is your ability? She received the answer, psychokinesis. Seeing that the information matched what was on file, she gave the instruction. All right, you may begin the test. Hearing this, Layla quickly agreed. Yes! Golden, who heard the whole conversation from a distance, remarked with awe, So she has superpowers. I thought she was from the Pureblood faction. This was the first time Queen had heard the term Pureblood faction, and he couldn't help but be curious. Knowing he was confused, the boy kindly explained in detail. The Pureblood faction refers to a group of people who are adamantly opposed to superpowers. The Purebloods believe that the current trend of everyone chasing after superpowers is a distorted value. The mentality of only believing in superpowers is the root cause of the division in today's society. They focus on developing beast gear and undergoing extreme physical training, using their ordinary human bodies to fight against the Deji tribe. With those explanations, he finally understood and concluded, I see. So that's why you saw her using a bow made of animal bone and thought she was from the Pureblood faction, right? Layla's performance seemed to have faltered a bit, so the examiner announced the end of the test. Layla Mulu, ability level 2. Hearing that she only achieved level 2, she found it impossible to accept.
How can that be? All the teachers at school rated me as level 3.
Faced with Layla's disbelief, the examiner patiently explained, "Your skill with the bow and arrow has indeed reached a level 3 proficiency. However, one target was destroyed with your bare hands and we measured at an average force of 8, so you can only be rated as level 2. After explaining everything, she offered some comfort. "There will be many more opportunities to be tested in the future. You don't need to dwell on this one result." Then she called the next person.
Yahello!
Although Layla understood, she still couldn't accept this outcome. Hearing Aylin's name being called, Golden walked over to start a conversation. "Hey, they're calling you. Looks like I got lucky, I'm the last one, haha." Suddenly, the hand of a stranger he didn't know. He didn't realize putting his hand on her shoulder would make her so uncomfortable. When she warned him to take his hand off, he thought she was just kidding, so he laughed it off.
Don't be so tense.
"I think—" Before he could even finish his sentence, Golden's hand was frozen solid, leaving him completely stunned. Aylin arrogantly flipped her hair, not forgetting to warn him one more time. "Next time you lay a hand on me without permission, it'll be worse than this." Golden, witnessing her power, was startled.
Whoa! So she's got ice powers. No wonder she's so cold, I almost lost my hand.
As she stepped up to the examiner, he immediately asked for confirmation. "Aylin Hiley, ice-type ability, correct?" As the test began, she immediately confirmed, "Correct." Meanwhile, Golden wasn't holding a grudge at all. Instead, he was cheerfully praising her. "Heh, I knew it. That girl is seriously powerful." Queen, who had been drinking water, came over and kindly advised him, "You shouldn't touch people without their permission. She doesn't look like someone you should provoke." But Golden didn't seem to pay much attention to the warning. "Ha ha ha ha! I wouldn't mind having an exhilarating fight with her. But for real, I'm not the type of guy who just starts fawning over any pretty girl I see." The other three were left speechless by this. Aylin was clearly very strong. She just stood in one spot and used her ability to completely destroy the training dummies. After this display, the examiner was very satisfied and made an announcement. "The test is over. Aylin Hiley, assessed as a level 5 ability." "Excellent. You're the third student out of all the candidates today to reach level 5. Hearing she was level 5, Peter gasped in amazement. Amazing. A level 5 ability. Queen's face was also frozen, as if he'd never seen anything like it. "Ah, that's right. The highest level at our school before this was only level 4. Layla, feeling outshone, was very unhappy. "What's so great about that? I'll surpass her soon enough." Finally, it was Golden's turn. Next, Golden Fong. Hearing his name called made him eager to prove himself. "It's finally my turn!" When Golden went up and demonstrated his ability, it left Aylin astonished, and Queen dumbfounded. It was exactly like Aylin's power. He took down the training dummies with a speed that was hard to follow. Afterward, the examiner happily exclaimed, "Looks like it's our lucky day. Golden Fong, a level 5 ability." Being ranked at level 5 made Golden excited enough to show off. How about that? Queen, at a loss for words, could only manage an incredible, "Can you copy abilities by touching people?" Golden was startled that he'd figured out his ability in an instant. "Wow, you saw right through me immediately. And I was planning on keeping up the act for a bit longer, too. How did you figure it out?" In response to his question, Queen didn't hesitate to explain his logical deduction. "Remember when we shook hands? You seemed a bit surprised. That's because you couldn't copy my ability, correct? Furthermore, when Aylin froze your hand earlier, you were clearly unfamiliar with ice-based abilities. So, when I put it all together, there was only one possible explanation." Faced with this accurate analysis, Golden had to admit he was impressed. "Wow, I'm surprised. Even without any powers of your own, you're incredibly perceptive." Receiving this compliment, he replied modestly, "Ha ha ha, I just happened to notice, that's all." Wait a second. Queen suddenly realized something. That's strange. In that case, back then, my body must have automatically defended itself against his copying ability. So what in the world is my ability? Just then, Aylin, who had been acting so cold, approached and asked, "Hey, you're a prime ability user, aren't you?" So-called prime ability users are those who are born with their superhuman powers. Legend says that all the superhuman powers recorded in the current ability books were passed down from them. Golden didn't give a straight answer and started teasing her again. "Why don't you take a guess? If you get it right, there's a prize." But she wasn't interested in playing along and coldly walked away. How dull. Seeing that everyone had been tested, the examiner addressed the students. The testing is now complete. You may all proceed to the military academy. Hearing they could go to the academy, Peter was overjoyed.
Oh, that's great!
The instructor then informed the students about some of the facilities, explaining that books could be placed in the transfer bay, along with their luggage where a designated instructor would receive them. The 5 of them were then quickly transported to the academy. The place was incredibly vast and integrated with all sorts of services. This took him by surprise.
Whoa, so this is the military academy?
It looks like a bustling city. It was also Queen's first time seeing such a sight, and he remarked with a hint of apprehension, "It's enormous." After the 5 of them were transported into the academy, they stepped out of the elevator and saw many other students gathered around, chatting.
Oh,
"Fancy meeting you here. Hey man, what a coincidence. How'd your test go?" "I got level 5. What about you?" Hearing that his friend had a higher level, the other guy turned to leave. I'm level 3. Hearing the other student was level 5, someone else immediately invited them over.
"That's impressive. Let's hang out for a bit, okay?"
But he was turned down. Maybe in a little while. This made Queen and Peter realize one thing about this academy. A character's rank is determined by their power level, with the lowest ranked students being level 1. When Jelly appeared, another student immediately turned to get acquainted.
"Hey, aren't you Jelly? Do you remember me?"
"We went to the same school before." He didn't seem to remember him at all, but he still gave a polite answer. "Oh, is that so? Hello?" On Aylin's side, a few students were also following her, hoping to get acquainted.
"No way, it's really her. Look for yourself, that's her."
After that, all the high-level students were greeted by lower-level ones wanting to be friends.
What a coincidence. A chance like this is so rare. I'll treat you to a meal later.
Before the invitation was even finished, Jelly quickly refused.
"Sorry, I don't have time."
Over by Aylin, a few girls also ran up to get acquainted.
"Hello, I'm Mary. I'm a level 3. Can we be friends?"
"Me too, I'm Jiang, and I'm also a level 3. Are you really a level 5? I've never seen a level 5 before." As soon as they heard about a level 5 student, the other students started buzzing with excitement.
"What, level 5? Who's the level 5?
"I'm a level 4, be my friend."
"Get out of the way, I was here first. A mere level 3 like you shouldn't even bother."
And Peter finally realized how everyone was behaving. It seems everyone wants to be friends. With people who have a higher rank, huh? Queen sensed it too and felt a bit disheartened. That's right. This place is no different from the outside world. Just then, the teacher in black appeared and made a request. "Everyone quiet down a bit. Boys and girls, please form separate lines. Come up one by one to draw your dorm room numbers. Once you have your room number, you can take your luggage to your dorm room." After that, the students went up one by one to draw numbers, but Peter couldn't see Golden and started looking for him. "Where's Golden? I'm not sure where he is either. He probably got distracted. Maybe he's being bothered by other people. After all, he's a level 5. Just then, a student drew number 23 and was curious about who his roommate would be. 23? I wonder who I'll be rooming with." Hearing that student looking for number 23, Peter spoke up. "I'm also number 23. Upon hearing this, the student's face fell in panic. He then walked over to ask Queen, "What's your number?" Asked so suddenly, Queen was confused but answered, "I'm number 12. Why?" And just like that, the students shamelessly swapped their numbers without even asking for permission. "Well, this is your lucky day. Let's trade places, okay? You two will probably get along great." But Queen still wanted to say something. "Wait a minute." But the student had already bolted. This made Peter's heart ache as tears welled up in his eyes. "Of course, no one wants to room with someone like me. I'm sorry for causing you trouble." Seeing how disappointed he was, Queen comforted him. "What trouble? I'm only a level 1 too." "Don't be discouraged. Our life at the military academy has just begun. We'll get stronger." Even so, he couldn't cheer up. But still, then, out of nowhere, Golden, who had also drawn number 23, came looking. "Let's see. Who's in dorm room 23 with me?" Hearing the same number, Queen spoke up and answered, "I am, over here." Seeing that his other roommate was Queen, Peter was overjoyed. "Golden, what a coincidence!" Even though Guden was a high level, he didn't look down on the two of them for being level 1. Instead, he warmly slung his arms around their shoulders. "Yeah, I can't believe we were fated to be together like this. Let's have a great time together for the next 2 years, okay?" After hearing this, Peter was moved to tears again. "You guys, you don't look down on me. This is so nice. I'm so touched." But at the same time, from another area, a student's shout could be heard. "What? Your dorm room got taken? The other student could only sigh in frustration. Yeah, it's a total disaster that fell from the sky. The student immediately wanted to go get justice for his friend. What kind of person does that? How dare they be so blatant about it? Come on, we'll go find him. I'll help you get it back. But the other student stopped him. Just let it go. Running into him, I can only consider myself unlucky. That guy is a pseudo-level 5. It turns out Golden was the one who had proposed swapping rooms to be with the two of them. After that, the three of them moved into the men's dormitory together. Then, as Guden tidied up his sleeping area, he made a suggestion. The rest of the time is free time. Let's go for a walk somewhere later, okay? But Peter turned him down, wanting to diligently study his ability book. Sorry, I can't go. I finished unpacking. And I want to study my ability book first. Since he was a level 5, he didn't try to force them, so he accepted it naturally. All right, then. Then he turned to ask Queen. What about you? I have something to do as well, so I can't go with you. I want to go to the library for a bit. I need to figure out the situation with my ability as quickly as possible. I hope the library has some relevant materials. Just a moment ago, Golden wanted to go out and play, but when he heard what I said, he got all excited and insisted on coming along. It's been a while since I've read a book, too. Perfect timing. I'm determined to study hard. After that, we both headed to the Academy's library. As soon as we walked in, we saw it was full of people, but the atmosphere was extremely quiet. Queen, respecting the space, thought to himself, wow, it's so crowded. After grabbing his books, he noticed something with a puzzled look. Huh? Why are they just moving their mouths? I can't hear any voices. Knowing what Queen was curious about, Golden immediately explained, You went to a public school before, didn't you? They probably don't have this device, you just have to touch it. And it can create a soundproof space just like that. People inside can talk freely without disturbing others. Witnessing something like this for the first time really surprised him. Whoa, this is really my first time seeing this. Has technology really advanced this far? Afterwards, Golden sat down and asked curiously, What kind of materials are you looking for that you need so many books? Being asked, Queen had to make up an excuse. This? It's not that I don't have the school's free ability book. I just want to see what other kinds of superpowers are out there now. Who knows, I might find one that suits me better. Oh? So that's his sudden excuse. He couldn't help but laugh. Oh, is that so? I thought you wanted to become a pure blood member. Turns out you just don't want to become the military's attack dog, huh? Ha ha. Queen heard him but couldn't understand the meaning behind his words. The military's attack dog? Hearing that, Golden realized. So you don't know anything about this, do you? So you really don't know, huh? You don't actually believe the military is that benevolent, do you? Handing out free ability books to everyone, right? Later on, all those people will have to follow the military's orders. If they call you to the battlefield, you have to go. To put it nicely, you're their pawn. In reality, you're just a worthless human shield. As soon as he heard the reason, he was reminded of the ability book Peter received. So that's how it is. Why was Peter so happy when he received his ability book? Does he know about this? Realizing how little he knew, Queen wanted to ask a few things. Oh right, Golden. Have you ever heard of an ability that gets weaker when exposed to sunlight? It was the first time he'd ever heard of an ability book like that. It left his face completely blank. Huh? He suddenly burst out laughing teasingly. Ha 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 ha! How could there be an ability like that? Some people might seem weak because they can't control the power they received. Or their ability is just too weak when it manifests. But getting weaker just from sunlight? We're humans, not vampires. After those words, he could only smile and play along. Yeah, you're right, ha ha ha. After spending some time reading in the library, Golden had conked out and was snoring loudly. Queen, however, had been reading for hours but still hadn't found that ability book. He closed the book. As expected, none of these books have any record of a case like mine. So he looked up at the bookshelves. I'll keep looking up there. Queen searched for books while reading, but there was still no information. A story about a red dragon reincarnating as a human. That's actually pretty interesting. This book is called Fantasy and Knowledge, written by Lenny Stein and Zetalen. Seeing that there was no new information after reading the story, he quickly put it back in its place. But this is probably just a fantasy novel. Dragons, vampires, and all that. They're just creatures of legend. It's almost dinner time, too. I'll read one more book and then head back. So, Queen stopped searching for books related to that ability and instead focused on researching the characteristics of vampires. Drinks human blood, turns into a bat, uses illusions. So these are all vampire traits. Oh,
There are also vampires skilled in swordsmanship and hypnosis?
Turns out vampires have their own distinct branches. It's quite a systematic classification. They're not quite like me, though. The only thing we have in common is getting weaker under sunlight. As he was reading, a system notification appeared. You have gained a deeper understanding of the system. Experience plus 10. Current EXP, 15 out of 100. A notification from the system suddenly popped up just like that. What's making me so panicked? Then I dazedly realized I'm in trouble. It can't be, right? The power I awakened. Is it really a vampire's power? The sky finally began to turn to dusk. After a nice nap, Golden finally woke up, stretched, and started looking for Queen. Where did he go? It's already this late. Could he have gone home already? The thought of him leaving without telling me made me sad. How annoying. He didn't wake me up at all. But Golden had no idea that Queen had been frantically researching vampires all afternoon. This is insane. Absolutely insane. The more I read, the deeper I understood. It seems it's all true. At the same time, the system continued its announcement. You have gained a deeper understanding of the system. Unlocking one optional quest. Confirmation required. Hearing there was a new quest, Queen put down the book and looked. He then saw the system display a terrifying face as it issued the quest. Suck the blood of one person. This was something he couldn't accept. It wants me to suck a real person's blood? What is with this system? It really made Queen think about the legend of vampires surviving by sucking human blood, but this system wasn't forcing him to do it yet. Because he was being affected by the sunlight on his way back to his room, the system announced, your body is directly exposed to sunlight. All stats are reduced by 50%. Another system quest appeared. Suck the blood of one person. Daily quest. Current progress, 0%. The reward for this quest was a bit mysterious, which caught his attention. It might be possible to complete. This quest will grant a special reward. As for the daily quest, it's basically free experience, at least at this current stage. It seems that whether it's harsh sunlight or twilight, as long as any light hits me, I'll become weaker. It was just as Queen thought, as his status bar showed his stats being gradually cut in half. With this new quest, Queen had to think very carefully. If I only do the daily quests, it will take 3 weeks to reach the next level. It's slow, sure, but sooner or later I'll level up. I wonder if anything new will change when I level up. He walked on, lost in thought, not noticing Peter being bullied up ahead. The boy wasn't fighting back, just cowering. He just let the guy curse at him. I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to bump into you. After a moment, hearing the noise up ahead, he finally noticed. Huh? Isn't that Peter? And even though Peter had only bumped into them and was apologizing profusely, Kai wouldn't let him off easily. You think saying sorry is going to fix this? If sorry actually worked, we wouldn't need cops. I can't believe he's only level 2 and already this aggressive. He wasn't even scratched, yet he wanted compensation. So tell me, how are you going to compensate me? Suddenly being cornered like this, Peter was flustered and didn't know what to do. See, compensate? But I don't have much money. But the guy refused to let up. Don't you understand human language? Are you looking for a beating or what? Queen stood there watching the guy's aggressive display with disgust. Only level 2 and already so arrogant. This type of person only dares to bully those with a lower level than them. How disgusting. So while Kay wasn't paying attention, he ran up and landed a hard punch on the guy. Oops, I tripped. Knocked forward, the guy furiously yelled, "Damn it, are you blind? Watch where you're going." Being yelled at, Queen felt no remorse but apologized just to get it over with. Sorry, I have this habit of tripping even on flat ground. Peter was startled to see him there. Huh? Queen? When Kai got back on his feet, he noticed Queen's level and put on an air of superiority. Level 1? What's with today? All I'm running into is trash. If you don't want to get hurt, you'd better just pay up. But Queen paid little attention to his words and just smiled. He remarked, I just got to this new school. I thought it'd take at least a few days to meet someone like you. A bully who preys on the weak. I didn't expect to find one so soon. Hearing that remark, the guy reached behind his back. Oh yeah? So what are you going to do about it? And at that very moment, the system detected an unusual sign from the guy and issued a warning. Opponent skill activation detected. Activate combat mode? Confirmation required. Hearing this request, Queen wondered what it was. Combat mode? Do I have to fight this guy? Perfect timing. I was just wanting to test how well I can do in a real fight. And so, the system issued another quest. First battle. Defeat the opponent. New quest. Reward. 50 experience points. Progress. 0%. The amount of experience the system was offering was so high it made Queen happy. And on top of that, a reward of 50 experience points. If I win, leveling up is right around the corner. So without a second thought, he agreed to fight Kai. "If you want to fight, I'll give you one, you coward." Afraid that he would get into trouble fighting a higher-level opponent, Peter worried, "Queen, is he insane?"
Why would he pick that guy as an opponent?
Hearing the challenge, the guy fully activated his power and charged forward. "Are you tired of living?" The attacker's speed was incredible, like a true beast, but Quinn fought back fearlessly, forcing him to retreat. He had sensed Quinn's power, so it was Kai. He hesitated. How is this kid so strong? He's nothing like a level 1. Could his power already be at level 2, while he's just weak in other areas? Realizing the guy's ability, Quinn immediately devised a plan. So, it's a close combat transformation ability. This gives me a chance. Last time, that girl's power test was only 8 points, and she was already rated as a level 2. As long as I'm not in the sunlight, all my stats are at 10 points. That should at least be level 2. Even in a one-on-one fight, I'm not guaranteed to lose. With that thought, they both charged at each other again. But this time, the one who landed a hit was Kai. After landing just one slash, he looked smug. "Ha! Just as I thought, this kid's agility isn't good enough." Realizing his opponent's weakness, he attacked relentlessly, not forgetting to taunt him verbally. "Trash will always be trash!" Peter, on the side, seeing this, couldn't help but worry about Quinn. The system, noticing he was overexerting himself, warned him again. "You are continuously losing blood. Blood level, 3 out of 5. Vitality, -1. But the one thing he had been waiting for all this time was the sun. It's about to set. As the sun was gradually setting, Kai launched his finishing blow. "Go die!" On the status bar, his current vitality was now only 1 out of 5. A huge explosion erupted in front of them, making Peter worry about Quinn. But right at that moment, the sun had completely set. Although he had suffered many injuries from the explosion, his body was already recovering. Quinn had grabbed one of Kai's hands tightly, making him unable to believe it. How could he? With his speed, how could he have dodged my attack? And this strength? After that last exchange, it was time for his counterattack. "Ah, this time it's my turn." Terrified that something would happen to him, he begged, Wait, I think we can negotiate a little." But by then, Quinn's condition had already recovered. He showed no mercy and punched him hard in the stomach, causing severe internal damage and making him cough up blood. Then Quinn didn't let up and continued to punch him relentlessly. Peter, who was just worried about him a moment ago, was now completely stunned by this. How did he do that? Does Quinn really not have any superpowers? After pummeling Kai for a while, he finally let go, tossing him aside. He then reflected on his own power. So this is the power of a vampire. After the fight ended, his experience jumped from 15 to 60. The system seemed quite pleased as it announced, "Congratulations, host, for completing the new mission, experience plus 50. And as an additional reward, survey skill level 1 has been unlocked." Hearing that there was an additional skill unlock reward made Quinn excited. Then the system announced, "Combat mode has been deactivated." Peter then came closer and asked about Kai's condition. "Quinn, he's not dead, is he?" He received a reassuring reply from Quinn. "Don't worry, I'm not that skilled. I just wanted to make sure that guy won't want to cause trouble for us anymore." Peter still couldn't believe that Quinn had actually beaten a level 2 student. "You really scared me. To think you'd fight a level 2 head-on." Quinn didn't pay much attention to his exclamations and decided to check out the new skill he'd received. Survey skill. I wonder if it can see other people's weaknesses. Let's try it out. He then began to survey Peter, who was still unaware of what he was doing, so he turned back to him, worried. "Hey, your hand is bleeding. You should go to the nurse's office to get it treated." At the same time, Peter's status window appeared. Peter Jack. Life value, 3 out of 5. Race, human. Blood type, a positive. Ability, none. All other abilities are locked. Then, Quinn proceeded to survey Kai. Kai Main. Life value, 1 out of 8. Race, human. Blood type, B negative. Ability, transformation. Other information is also locked. This locked information made him wonder, it seems there's still some hidden information. Maybe I need a higher level to see it. But to think it can even see blood types, this is a really convenient ability for a vampire. I wonder if different blood types taste different. Suddenly, the thought crossed his mind. The desire to know what blood tastes like startled him. What am I thinking?
Quinn, you're crazy. That's blood. Blood!
Peter, noticing Quinn's pale expression, asked with concern,
Quinn? Quinn, are you okay?
I think we should get out of here quickly, before someone else finds us. Being called out like that startled him, and he quickly replied, Huh? Oh, I'm fine. He then followed Peter's advice and started to leave. You're right, let's go. But his eyes kept staring at the bloodstains scattered on the floor. He still had a large wound on his back from the fight, and when Peter, walking behind him, saw it, he grew even more worried. Are you sure that wound is okay? You should at least go get it cleaned and stop the bleeding. But Quinn didn't feel any pain, so he refused. It's fine, it's just a surface wound. The bleeding has stopped. Just then he noticed another wound on his arm. Seeing that he wasn't moving, Peter stopped and asked, What's wrong? He quickly covered the wound on his arm and denied it. It's nothing. I think I should still head to the nurse's office. It'd be a pain if it got infected. You go back to the room first. I'll be right behind you. Okay. Realizing Queen got hurt because of him, he wanted to go along. Then let me go with you. But he was furtively refused. No, it's fine. I can go by myself. Can you do me a favor and check if Golden is back yet? We got separated. I'm afraid he might be worried. With that, Peter could only respect his decision. All right then. And so Queen went to the highest point of the academy and looked at his wound, which was gradually healing. It really has healed completely. At the same time, the system announced, Health restored 10 out of 10. Your health has been fully recovered. Confirmation required. Then the system issued a warning. Your hunger has increased. Seeing that warning, Queen mused, Hunger? No wonder I'm feeling a bit hungry. It seems this system can heal my wounds through food. With that naive thought, he began searching for a nearby place to buy food. There must be a place that sells food around here. After searching for a bit, he saw a vending machine at the gate of the training grounds. There it is. Inside the training room, Layla was training hard with the dummies, hoping to level up next time. After a while, she was exhausted. She took a sip of water. My condition's pretty good. That's enough for today. Just then, she saw Queen walking by, munching on a piece of bread. That guy. Seeing him furtively looking around made Layla confused. Isn't he the one with no superpower? What's he doing at the training grounds? He probably wants to test his power again, right? So, Queen quickly took off his outer jacket, wanting to fight the dummies. He started the test on normal difficulty, but as he tossed his jacket aside, she saw everything and praised him inwardly. Looks like he wasn't happy with his daytime test results, huh? He's pretty ambitious. Come on, let me see what you've got. Then, with a single blow, he sent the dummy flying, along with a notification. Power, 10. This made Layla gasp in disbelief. How is that possible? Isn't he only a level 1? And it wasn't just his power, but his agility, too. The dummies that were hit turned to face their target, but before they could do anything, Queen slashed them with 2 quick strikes. Target hit. Test complete. Agility, 10. At that moment, the jacket finally hit the floor. That speed surprised Layla even more. Incredible. He managed to destroy all the targets before his jacket hit the ground. He's intentionally hiding his true strength, isn't he? But why? At the academy cafeteria, some level 1 students got their food and called each other over to a table. There's a seat over here! Hearing that, another student hurried over. Coming! As the 2 students were about to sit down, a level 3 student threw his backpack down to claim the spot. Seeing such an aggressive act, the 2 level 1 students didn't dare to mess with him. Maybe we should just go outside. Yeah. Afterwards, the 2 level 1 students took their food outside to eat, complaining to each other unhappily. Those guys inside are really scary. They can act so arrogant just because they have a high rank. If you can't fight them, it's best to stay away. It seemed Peter and Queen had been bullied in the same way, so they were sitting outside. Peter, worried that Golden might be uncomfortable, asked, Golden, are you sure it's okay sitting with us? All the high-level people are sitting inside the dining hall. Only us low-level ones have to be out here. You shouldn't have to suffer like this with us. That's right. You don't have to be with us. You should be mingling with people of your own rank. But Golden didn't seem to care and refused. Don't be ridiculous. I hate that stupid ranking consciousness more than anything. We're friends. Then he started eating cheerfully. So just relax and eat. Right now, nothing is more important than filling our stomachs. Ha ha! From a distance, Layla witnessed this whole scene. Later, in the theory class taught by Mr. Dell, he began to explain the basic theories of abilities to the students. It can be said that without the selfless sharing of the innately gifted, the new structure of today's world would not have been formed. We may be living in a time of temporary peace, but no one knows when war will break out. That is the very reason you are all studying here at this military academy. You must strive to enhance your extraordinary powers. Only your rank can prove your self-worth. Upon hearing these theories, Queen came to understand just how high-class Golden's power was. Still, Golden's ability is so convenient. He can directly copy high-level powers, but the ability he copied, can it be enhanced further on its own? Out of curiosity, he had the system survey his information. Use survey skill. Let's see if I find anything. Receiving the command, the system immediately surveyed the information, which quickly appeared on the screen. Golden. Health value, 10 out of 10. Race, human. Blood type, O negative. Ability, unknown. Suddenly, the ability column was locked like this. This made him even more confused. Strange. The ability can't be displayed. Could it be? So, to confirm his suspicion, Queen bluntly asked Golden, "Can you not use Aylin's ability anymore?" Model, as soon as he heard that question, Golden, truly impressed by his quick wit, whispered in his ear, "Wow, you figured it out again. You're a really sharp one. Let me tell you a little secret. Actually, my copy ability resets every day, so unless I touch Aylin again, I won't be able to copy her ability." Upon hearing this information, he couldn't help but confirm that his theory was correct. As expected, abilities that seem convenient always come with restrictions. So that's why he'd given such sincere advice, for his own good. "Well then, I advise you not to do it. Aylin isn't someone to be trifled with." And Golden, hearing that well-intentioned reminder, was very grateful. "Thanks for the concern. If only you and Peter had abilities I could use, that would be great. I still don't know whose ability I should copy for the next test." As he spoke, he let out a long, sleepy yawn. Quinn, however, felt bad for not having an ability he could use. "I'm sorry. I can't help you with that." As he was speaking, his stomach suddenly rumbled, surprising Golden. "Are you still hungry? You just ate enough for 2 people." To suddenly have someone hear his stomach growling like this made him very embarrassed. Maybe I just digest things a little too quickly. Afterwards, he looked at the system in disbelief. How can it be so fast? I'm hungry again already? If it keeps up like this, my food expenses are going to be pretty high. The long, drawn-out theory class finally came to an end. Golden needed to use the restroom, so he split off. "You two go on ahead. I'll just pop into the restroom for a bit and find you guys later." Hearing this, Quinn casually agreed. "All right, let's meet at the convenience store in a bit." He hadn't even taken a few steps before he heard the terrified screams of other students. "Ah! What are we supposed to do? Veli told us we have to give him 50 points by the end of this week. Is there any other way? If you don't want to get chewed out, you just have to hand it over. What do you think, Kai?" Hearing his name, Kai got annoyed. "We'll give it to him fine, but when I reach his level, I'll definitely get it back twofold." Just as he said this, he spotted Quinn. Quinn saw him too, his expression darkening as he glanced at Peter walking ahead, who recognized him as the guy from yesterday. Peter panicked. "Isn't that the guy from yesterday? This time he's got friends with him." Even so, Kai, after the beating he took yesterday, was hesitant with fear. The other 2 students, however, looked at the pair and sneered. "What a coincidence running into these 2 here. They're pretty famous, you know." "That's right. They're the only 2 in our entire year without superpowers, a couple of top-class losers. It's really an eye-opener." The one being taunted didn't seem to notice. He was completely overcome with fear. "Quinn, do you think he brought people here to get revenge on us?" But he figured the 3 of them wouldn't dare touch him. No way. If other people found out what happened yesterday, he'd become the one who gets bullied. Then the 2 students stepped forward to block their path and start trouble. "Hey, you 2, wait a minute." Peter, blocked, was bewildered and scared. Excuse me, is there a problem?" Without another word, the 2 students bluntly demanded points from them. "How about each of you lend us 10 points? We're in a real bind. We know you guys don't have much, so we're being understanding and only borrowing 10 points from each of you. You can surely afford that, right?" Hearing these guys wanted to borrow a whole month's worth of his living expenses, Peter quickly refused. 10 points is my entire living allowance for a month. In total, that's all I have enough to exchange for." Quinn, however, didn't give them a pleasant look and questioned them. "Do I know you? Why should I give you anything?" Kai saw his buddies had gone this far. But he just stood behind them timidly, breaking out in a cold sweat, while the other 2 guys stubbornly insisted on borrowing the points. "I said borrow, don't you understand? Are you not going to listen when I'm asking nicely?" Afraid that something bad might happen, he awkwardly rushed to push his 2 friends away. Hey, just forget it. I just realized we might have enough already."
Let's go.
Right at that moment, Golden, having just come from the restroom, appeared and spoke up. I have plenty of points. Why don't you guys just borrow some from me? I can lend them to you, but the interest rate is pretty high. Are you sure you want to? The moment they saw him, everyone screamed in fear, "It's a level 5!" The moment the group saw someone stronger, they immediately tried to flee.
No, that's okay. Thanks for the kind offer. Ah ha ha, so you guys are friends, huh?
You guys, it was really just a misunderstanding. We'll get out of your hair now, see ya. But Golden wasn't about to let them off that easy and stop them. Don't be in such a hurry. Let's talk a little more. Just then, someone else chimed in. Hey now, who do you think you are laying a hand on someone else's underclassman? Seeing Jelly and Momo arrive, the three guys were overjoyed.
Great, we're saved! It's Jelly and Momo!
The moment those two appeared, Queen immediately sensed a great danger. His aura was too dangerous, so he quickly scanned Momo's information. Momo, life value, not found. Race, human. Blood type, unknown. He couldn't even see the most basic information. This confused him. Could it be that my current skill isn't high enough to use on people of a higher level? Yes, that guy's level is... I can't believe his level is that high. At this point, the scene was utter chaos. Momo stepped forward and announced, I'll allow you to leave now. Upon hearing this, the three guys panicked and fled.
Yes, let's go!
Seeing that everything was over, Golden didn't press the issue and invited the two to get something to eat. Let's go. We should go eat. If we're late, there won't be anything left to choose from. Since it was evening, Peter was also really hungry.
So hungry.
Queen, however, seemed very wary of those two. He didn't want any more trouble, but Momo insisted on getting involved. Hold on. I never said you could leave. Trying to leave without so much as a greeting? Low-level trash like you, not even having a shred of respect for others. That just won't do. For a guy who's only one level higher to look down on others like this, it really pisses you off, doesn't it? Is there something else? He stepped forward, intending to teach Golden a lesson. Golden, you've only been here for 2 days, and I've already heard all sorts of rumors about you. All my friends are talking about some high-level freshman who's always hanging out with the low-level crowd. Hearing this accusation, he was genuinely confused, but he still affirmed it. Yeah, that's right, so what? Am I breaking any rules? And yet he dared to give Momo a contemptuous smile. Of course, you're not breaking any rules. Who you associate with is your personal freedom. But I have to say, there are still some unwritten rules in this school. You see, once you start treating that trash like they're useful members of society, they start getting full of themselves. Just like this piece of trash here. I'm standing this close, and he doesn't show an ounce of fear or respect for me. In this world, only the strong deserve to live. Some people get treated with a little kindness and start having delusions about so-called equality. You know, I really hope the next battle comes soon. That way I can eliminate all you worthless trash without a second thought. War is the most wonderful thing. Upon hearing these words, it reminded him of similar words spoken by people long ago. Queen, because of the war, your parents have died. It stirred up the pain of his parents' death, and now he was furious. How could he say something like that? Deciding not to let it slide, Queen threw a punch straight at Momo, but Jelly intercepted it. Then, with his other hand, he used his ability. He landed a powerful blow, sending him flying backward. To Peter, the impact was so strong it shattered the ground. After the punch, Jelly looked down on Queen with arrogance.
You really never learn, do you? You, who already lost to me. Momo chimed in with a sneer. You think you can take us on by yourself?
Aren't you overestimating yourself a little? While the two were distracted, Golden rushed in to land a punch.
Then what about me?
But his opponent's speed was too fast and he missed.
How?
Just now, he dodged my attack so easily. After that punch, Golden still couldn't believe he missed and wanted to try again.
I don't believe it.
But Queen stopped him in time. Golden, that's enough. Let it go. Despite her intervention, he remained incredibly stubborn. Queen. But Peter firmly shook his head, stopping her. He knew this was his fault, too. It was my fault for being too rash. Golden isn't strong enough yet. We shouldn't pick a fight with them. Seeing that no one was making a move, the guy turned to leave. Heh heh heh. I have no intention of fighting you all today. Just consider this a friendly warning from me. In this school, there are some people that not even the military dares to touch. You all should watch out for yourselves. Otherwise, you'll get dragged into something before you know it, and you won't even know why you died. These words were so arrogant it made the three of them furious, but they were speechless. Afterward, the three of them went to the cafeteria together. As he ate, Peter recalled what had just happened. I really can't accept it. Was that guy serious? You mean... No one manages anything that happens at this military school? After this, I'm afraid that's exactly right. The reason the school doesn't take any measures is because it benefits them. In an environment like this, if the weak want to seek power and get stronger, the only way is to join the military. That way they can get more resources. And also be protected by the military. Of course, they'll have to go to the battlefield when needed. Yes. Afterward, Queen, worried about Gordon, earnestly advised him, "Gordon, I'm sorry, but from now on, it's better if you keep some distance from us." He couldn't accept this request. Why? Are you guys just going to give up like that? Why should we listen to them? Although he knew Gordon didn't want to, he also felt truly powerless about the situation. Gordon, I know you really want to help us, but you probably don't understand. There are many things we simply don't have the strength to face. But when we break the rules they've set, they might not be able to do anything to you, but Peter and I will become thorns in their side. He was still very stubborn, not wanting to distance himself from the two of them, and offered a guarantee. I can protect you, just... But in the end, Queen could only refuse. The only way we'll be safe is if you stay away from us. Peter was also worried about their conversation, but he still agreed with Queen's words. Gordon, I'm sorry. Queen is right, but you're telling me to leave. Being pushed away against his will was something Gordon couldn't accept. No buts. Fine. Whatever you want. I'll stay away from you, starting right now. His retreating figure looked truly lonely, which pained Peter as well. He looks really sad, Queen. Maybe we should have explained it to him more clearly. Though she knew he was hurting, she could only sigh in comfort. It's okay. Maybe this is for the best. Veli, standing in a corner and seeing everything, smiled with satisfaction. Meanwhile, Gordon left the cafeteria alone, frustrated with those two ungrateful people. Look at that. Couldn't do a thing. What a waste of effort. Suddenly, his other personality emerged and retorted, Shut up, you have no idea what I want. And so the first personality turned away helplessly. So what if I know what I want? Didn't it still end up like this? No one will ever understand. But the second personality didn't care about others' opinions. I don't care what other people think. I will absolutely not let them get what they want so easily. Later, as the sky was turning to dusk, Queen, now separated from Gordon, was being bullied by Jelly. Peter, standing by, could only call out uselessly, Queen! After the bullying was over, Jelly spoke coldly. He stole the points the two of them had saved up for a month's worth of food. Such futile resistance. Low ranks are low ranks. It's no surprise you have so few points. Behave yourselves from now on. Don't waste each other's time. Having their points stolen and being spoken to like that made both Queen and the system furious. Queen didn't understand. I've gained abilities, but I'm still getting bullied like this. In the end, is it still the same? Then how is this any different from before? But the weak Peter couldn't fight back either, so he could only endure it. Well, there's still a little money in the account. We can just deposit a few points at a time. It's a bit annoying, but even if we get robbed, we won't lose that much. Queen understood what he was saying, but still couldn't accept it. That may be true, Becca. But these kinds of days... When will they ever end? The system seemed very angry about the recent bullying, so it issued a new mission which confused him. A new mission? System is currently extremely displeased. Issuing the following mission content. Defeat Jellybread. Subquest. Mission reward. Plus 80 experience. Completion, 0%. Suddenly receiving this mission made Queen feel a bit helpless. I have to defeat Jelly? There's no way I can do that right now. He just beat me to a pulp. The system, seeing that he didn't seem very enthusiastic, offered another reward to entice him. High-level power disparity detected. Completing the mission will grant an additional reward. After the mission announcement was complete, the system immediately issued a warning. Your body is in direct sunlight. Status attributes reduced by 50%. Your hunger has increased. He looked at his stats on the bar. My stats are dropping. Although avoiding the sun can improve my body's functions, it's still not enough to close the level gap between me and Jelly. I have to level up and fast. Just like that, the sky quickly grew completely dark, and only then did the two of them return to the dormitory. The moment he saw them return, Golden suddenly stammered, You guys are back? I've been waiting for you for a long time. Having just flatly refused to play with him, seeing him now made him feel awkward. But Peter was completely nonchalant. We're back. Golden, what happened to your face? When asked about the wound on his face, he immediately denied it. Oh, this? It's nothing. Just got into a little scuffle, that's all. Don't worry, I didn't lose. The other guy got it way worse. What about you two? You didn't run into any trouble, did you? When asked about it, he hesitated, wanting to say, actually, we also... But Queen quickly cut him off. We didn't run into any trouble at all. He and I just went out and had a huge, satisfying meal. We totally pigged out. Hearing that the two had fun, Golden adjusted his clothes and replied cheerfully, Oh, it was that much fun, huh? Make sure to take me with you next time, okay? Meanwhile, Peter whispered, Aren't you going to tell Golden? But he refused. No, let's not. If he found out, he definitely wouldn't let it go. Let's not make him worry. Just after saying he'd eaten his fill, the sound of Queen's stomach rumbling made the atmosphere dead silent. So he got a bit embarrassed and tried to cover. Ha ha ha. You know how it is. The more expensive the food, the smaller the portions. It's normal not to get full. Besides, I digest things quickly. Hearing that excuse, he seemed to find it plausible. That's true. Let's go buy some more food at the convenience store. It's close by anyway. And with that, he transferred 10 points to Queen, startling him. Huh? For me? That's too much. I feel bad. But Golden was insistent, speaking from the heart. Don't refuse. Just consider it a thank you for this afternoon. I'm the type of person who can be a little stubborn sometimes, so I hope you guys will bear with me more in the future. But at this request, he finally let out a sigh of relief. All right, thanks. After that, Queen headed to the convenience store. Thank you for shopping with us. While inside, he suddenly overheard the two thugs from that afternoon chatting. Man, I was seriously scared shitless today. Did you see the look in Mac's eyes? Lucky he didn't get mad at us. Shh, keep your voice down. Hearing that voice, Queen immediately recognized it. Aren't these the two from earlier today? Seeing that it was them, he focused on their conversation. Veli already told us to hurry up and gather enough points. Otherwise, even he won't be able to protect us. That CAI guy is pretty reckless. To think he'd try to gather points all by himself. I know, right? I mean, if you don't borrow from others, who could stand grinding like this every single time? Just then, Queen noticed a system quest. A quest, huh? Perfect timing. Defeating those two won't be a problem, it's just... Charging straight in like this will attract too much attention, unless... Then, his eyes fell on the masks displayed on a shelf. As the thug left the convenience store, Queen followed him. It seemed the thug's sixth sense tingled, feeling he was being followed. The hair on the back of his neck stood up, and he spun around to see who it was. Who's there? Come on out! Stop messing around and trying to scare me! But when he saw no one, the thug sighed in relief. Phew! What's with me? Just scaring myself. The moment he finished speaking, Queen appeared right in front of him, wearing a mask. It was absolutely terrifying, causing the thug's face to turn pale as he fell silent. A second later, overcome with fear, he screamed his head off and collapsed onto the ground. Seeing this made Queen a little bored. This guy is way too much of a coward. Where'd the other one go? Just then, the other thug appeared, demanding, Who are you? Seeing the person he was looking for had arrived, he turned to look. So you found me. Without another word, the thug lunged forward to attack, yelling, Who are you? Answer me! Seeing this, Queen scanned him. The thug's information appeared. Brandon Challison. Race, human. Blood type, O positive. Ability, wind element. Seeing another new ability made him wonder, wind element? What kind of ability is that? But Brandon, after that last attack, when he dodged, the guy just kept rushing into attack, acting all mysterious. His ability was truly surprising. So fast. So this is how you're supposed to use this power? Just as the guy used a wind blade, a large wound appeared on his shoulder. Seeing that he had landed a hit, Brandon gloated. Even if you don't answer, I've already figured it out. You're definitely one of the people we borrowed points from, aren't you? You think you can get revenge just by covering your face? You're dead wrong. With that, the guy spun around and attacked him head-on, a provocative and threatening smile on his face. Now take off that fake mask of yours yourself. I might give you a chance to kneel and apologize. For real. That last wound made Queen tremble. Based on his abilities and fighting style, he's the type with high reflexes, so his defense probably isn't that strong. I have to find a way to land just one hit on him. Despite that, he still charged forward without fear, attacking head-on, which only annoyed the guy more. Not afraid to die, huh? You've fallen right into my trap. You idiot. My wind blades aren't just limited to my hands. Queen was attacked, and his whole body suffered numerous cuts, but he still charged forward. Ugh. Though he was bleeding profusely, Queen still threw a punch. He punched the guy hard, then quickly grabbed him and slashed across Brandon's eye, causing him to panic. Shit! My eye! I'll smash your ugly face, you lowly bastard! While the guy was off guard, covering his eye with his hand, Queen took the opportunity to kick him hard in the groin. You fell for it too. His nuts getting crushed made the guy scream in agony. After taking down Brandon, the system immediately sent a notification. Congratulations on completing the system mission. Defeat any opponent. Side quest. Mission reward. Experience plus 50. Current completion 100%. After the fight, he took off his mask and complained in frustration at the system. This damn system is so stingy. I've defeated 2 people and you're not even giving me a little something extra. At the same time, another system notification appeared. Current level experience has reached its limit. Do you wish to level up? Faced with this question, he confirmed. Upon confirmation, the system suddenly bit down hard on his neck. Instantly, the light in Queen's eyes vanished, and then his entire body quickly levitated into the air. After that level up, the power within him grew stronger. Just then, Layla also arrived at the convenience store to buy something. Thank you for coming. As she was walking down the street, she suddenly became alert. But she didn't see anyone behind her. Meanwhile, the system sent a new notification. Congratulations on completing your level up. You have received a new skill, Blood Blade. Congratulations on evolving into a demi-human. Experience, 20 out of 50. HP, 10 to 15. His race had suddenly changed just like that, leaving Queen bewildered. A demi-human? Is this what they call evolution? The HP limit has increased, but the experience needed for the next level up has also increased. Then, information about the Blood Blade skill appeared. The body shoots a blood-colored blade from the hand. Attack range, 5 meters. Using this skill consumes the user's own blood. Each use deducts 1 HP. But seeing that he had a new skill, he felt a sense of relief. A new skill isn't bad. At least it looks like an attack skill. But along with it came a dizzying and uncomfortable feeling in his body. I'm hungry again. The system, now also at the peak of its hunger, issued a warning. Your hunger and thirst have skyrocketed. You cannot suppress the craving for fresh blood until you have been replenished. Your HP will continue to decrease gradually. Life value reduced to 9 out of 15 due to the hunger. Queen's vision began to blur and he was overcome with a craving. Before him, Brandon had collapsed. Hungry. I'm so hungry. I need fresh blood. Blood. And so, he helped the guy up, deciding that just a little taste would be fine. At that very moment, Layla peeked out from behind a bush, observing them. Him and him. To her, the scene looked exactly like something out of a boy's love story, which was a real eye-opener for Layla. She wondered, what are they doing? Just as he was about to drink the blood, Queen managed to regain his senses in time and stopped. No, what the hell am I doing? I actually wanted to drink human blood. Fearing he would do something terrible to Brandon, he quickly backed away and fled the scene in a hurry, terrified of his own spontaneous actions. That action just now was completely out of my control. It was just like the instinct of a vampire. I might kill him. No, I have to get out of here now. Layla, seeing him run away, was confused, not understanding what was happening. It doesn't look like they were kissing. What on earth is wrong with him? This is too weird. Though she didn't know what was going on, she still ran after him. Whatever, I'll just follow him and see. Later, Queen arrived at a secluded place, consumed by a thirst for blood. I need blood. His current life value had dropped to 8 out of 10. If this keeps up, I'll be the one to die first. Because of that bloodthirst, he licked the blood on his own hand to satisfy the craving. Afterward, Queen staggered towards the nurse's office. Layla, who had been following him, wondered why he was going to the nurse's office alone at night like this. So she thought, is he hurt? Does he need treatment? She peeked through the doorway, watching Queen's actions with growing confusion. What is he looking for? He, on the other hand, didn't notice her and was frantically rummaging for something. Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing. His condition had become critical, causing his whole body to sway. This is bad. I can't hold on any longer. Seeing him collapse like that, Layla rushed over to catch him out of concern. Be careful. Then she asked with concern, what's wrong? Are you sick? She couldn't understand why he was so hot and panting like this. What's going on? His body is so hot, it's like he's on fire, as his consciousness slowly faded away. And just like that, he couldn't control his bloodlust any longer. He apologized first, then bit down hard on Layla's neck to drink her blood, causing her whole body to tremble uncontrollably as she tried to stop him. Wait, what are you doing? Despite her struggles, he wouldn't let go. Savoring the taste of blood for the first time, Queen couldn't hold back. He marveled to himself, I never knew blood could be this sweet. When he came back to his senses, he saw that Layla had lost consciousness from the blood loss. The horrifying situation made him panic and scramble backward. It's her! I drank her blood. Seeing that he had drunk blood and sated his thirst, the system announced, your hunger has been reduced. Life force recovering. Seeing Layla lying on the ground made Queen suspicious. Could she be dead? Worried that something had happened to her because of him, he shook her. Hey, are you okay? Can you hear me? Realizing she could still respond made him feel much better. That's great. It looks like it's not life-threatening. After placing Layla on the bed, he quickly went to find a doctor. You just lie still here. I'm going to find a doctor right now. The moment he left the infirmary, Queen rushed off. Doctor, doctor, someone's fainted in here! Some time passed, and Layla finally opened her eyes. The first person she saw was Dr. Haley. Oh, you're awake. It looks like nothing is seriously wrong. You're just a little anemic. All right, I'll prescribe you some tonics. Remember to take them on time. If you feel unwell, come and find me immediately. Upon receiving these instructions, she felt a little uneasy. Thank you. Did I faint? Haley confirmed with certainty. Yes, you did. It's a good thing your young boyfriend was here. He was worried sick just a moment ago. He barged straight into the teacher's dorm to find me. It was totally frantic. Hearing that she suddenly had a boyfriend left Layla confused. Young boyfriend? Noticing Layla's bewildered expression, Haley was also confused. That male student with the slightly wavy hair, isn't he your boyfriend? I mean, seeing how worried he was, I just assumed he had to be. As soon as she heard that, she frantically denied it. No, that's not it. He's just a classmate. Where is he now? Hearing Queen's name mentioned, Haley recalled. Oh, him? I told him it was nothing serious, so I had him go on ahead. Hearing that he wasn't there, she subconsciously touched her neck, her cheeks blushing red. Nothing serious? That's strange. I remember him biting me, and besides, could it be that he's a... From these deductions, she came to one conclusion. Queen is definitely a vampire. Back on Queen's side of things. After drinking blood, my feeling of hunger disappeared. At the same time, I received an attribute increase. Because of what he had just done, he found it hard to fall asleep, his mind wandering endlessly. Golden, sleeping on the bottom bunk, was having a nightmare and shouting, I'm sorry, it wasn't me. Seeing that he wasn't asleep, the system, though sleepy enough to yawn, was still in the mood to announce, congratulations, you have completed the act of drinking human blood. Experience plus 50. Bonus reward received. Strength plus 1. Agility plus 1. Seeing the effects of drinking blood was truly something Queen could have hardly imagined. Although increasing my physical strength is a good thing, the problem is how to secure a stable blood source in the future. Just thinking about the taste of Layla's blood made him crave it. To be honest, I've never drunk anything so delicious. Is it only her blood that's this delicious? Or is everyone's blood like this? And how am I supposed to explain this to her? If she tells the teacher, that can't happen. I have to deny it even if it kills me. Or maybe I could negotiate with her, pay her to become my stable blood source. Just as he had that slightly deviant thought, he snapped back to reality. I'm starting to think nonsense again. Buying blood with money is just too bizarre. Besides, it's not like I have any money to pay someone anyway. It wasn't a good time to think anymore, so he turned over to sleep. Tomorrow I'll go to the hospital and try my luck again. Time to sleep. Soon enough, it was the next morning. Mr. Den's theory class had just ended. Before dismissing the students, the teacher didn't forget to remind them, that's all for today. When you go home, everyone, don't forget to practice and apply your superpowers. In 1 week, we will conduct a combat practice session. Everyone remember to review the materials beforehand and grasp the rules of the class. The students, hearing the instruction, replied in unison, Yes, sir. Although Guden had a lot of knowledge about ability users, he still didn't know what the Academy's combat activities would be like. Combat practice session? What do we do? From what Peters gathered, the students are supposed to split into teams and compete without using their superpowers. It's a form of basic combat training. The moment he heard they couldn't use their powers, he was bored to death. No powers allowed? Well, that's lame. Then, for some reason, Queen noticed Layla. Should I lie to those two so I can slip away? You guys go on ahead and eat. My stomach's a bit upset. I think I'll go to the infirmary for a bit. Hearing he was unwell, Golden advised him with concern, You really should get that checked out. I've never seen anyone get hungry faster than you. And with that, he quickly said his goodbyes before leaving. I'll head off first. I'll grab some food for you too. Grateful for the promise, he accepted. At that same moment, Layla, who had been watching him, began to follow. Meanwhile, I'm off to find the blood plasma stored in the Academy's infirmary. My head was so fuzzy yesterday, I must have looked in the wrong place. Something like blood plasma needs to be refrigerated, so it must be kept in cold storage. I'll try my luck at the research lab. Freshly drawn plasma would definitely need to be kept at a low temperature. Just as he was about to head for the cold storage, an arm shot out, grabbing Queen by the collar and yanking him away. "Come here, we need to talk." Being dragged away so suddenly startled him. "Who?" She shoved him into a corner to question him about what happened between them yesterday. "Spill it. What did you do to me yesterday?" As soon as she mentioned yesterday, he feigned ignorance. "Huh? Yesterday? I don't think we met, did we?" But Layla wasn't letting him off the hook. "Stop playing dumb. You bit me in the infirmary yesterday." Cornered, he could only stammer out an excuse. That was all a misunderstanding. "I had a fever yesterday, so I was a bit out of it." She knew that what he had yesterday was definitely not a fever. A fever? Out of it? Are you kidding me? You didn't just bite me, you drank my blood. Unbelievable. To think there's someone like you at this academy. Faced with such a direct accusation, he had no more excuses, so he had no choice but to admit it. "Fine. Since you already know everything, then there's nothing left for me to say. But I have my reasons." The more she heard his pathetic excuses, the angrier she got, and she cut him off. "Save your nonsense. After what you did, you wouldn't want anyone else to find out, right?" Faced with this threat, Queen had no choice but to compromise. "What do you want?" Seeing that he was now completely compliant, Layla immediately broke into a wicked grin. "Don't be so tense. My lips are sealed. As long as you agree to do one thing for me." Seeing that look on her face, he began to panic. What is it?" Immediately after, she looked at him, her eyes sparkling with anticipation as she begged, "Please, turn me into a vampire." Hearing such an unexpected request left him completely dumbfounded. It was so unbelievable that Queen had to ask again just to make sure he heard her right. "You... what?" Without changing her mind, she repeated her request once more. "Please, turn me into a vampire." This was a request Queen had never anticipated, so he tried to stop her. "Wait, hold on, are you being serious?" But Layla seemed utterly captivated by the idea, so she assured him, "Of course I am. Do you have any idea how excited I am right now?" As she spoke, she explained just why she wanted to become a vampire so desperately. "My dad's a writer, and thanks to him, I've been reading all kinds of fantasy novels since I was little. And my absolute favorite type of creature is the vampire. They're strong, mysterious, ageless, and immortal. It's just so cool. I've dreamed of becoming a vampire my whole life. I can't believe I finally met a real one." Hearing her reason, Queen was left completely speechless. Oh, for crying out loud. And so he had no choice but to tell Layla the truth. "Okay, you need to calm down a little. I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you." His sudden talk of disappointment startled her. "What do you mean by that?" He honestly explained that he wasn't fully capable of turning others into a vampire like him. "I don't have the power to turn other people into vampires. The reason I am what I am is because of a skill book. You know what that means, don't you?" The truth was a crushing blow to Layla's dream. How is that possible?" "You gave me hope just to take it all away." Seeing how utterly devastated she was, Queen let out a dry laugh. "Ha, ha. Everyone can only have one superpower in their lifetime. Plus, once the gene is integrated, your body undergoes a mutation. It's irreversible, so you can't just pick a new power." Devastated, Layla began to sob. Her words choked. "Then why? Why did you hide it? You let me believe I'd actually met a real vampire." Seeing her crestfallen look, Queen sat down and explained with a slight chuckle. "I bet you've never heard of a power that requires drinking blood to level up, have you? If the army ever found out about it, I'll definitely have to face endless interrogations, not to mention I still don't understand much about this ability myself. Even if you ask me now, I can't explain it clearly." Upon hearing this, Layla's mood changed again, just like a little kitten. "So you're not even sure yourself if there's a way to turn someone else into a vampire later on? A vampire or not, right?" The fact that her focus suddenly became so unusual left him speechless. If she was that determined to think that way, well, he couldn't say she was wrong. And so, because of her desire to become a vampire, Layla generously offered her blood to him. "Well then, all right. I can help you enhance your ability. You need a source of blood, right? I don't need anything else in return. Just, if you have the chance later on, please turn me into a real vampire." Her way of thinking was just too surprising. How does this girl's brain work so differently from everyone else's? Under Layla's relentless pleading, Queen could only accept on the condition that it was possible. I can't promise you anything, but if it's possible, I'll try. But you have to continue to keep my secret, okay? Hearing this condition, she got very excited, grabbed his arm, and agreed, no problem. Being held like that made him all flustered. Hey, let go! Just then, Peter came running from out of nowhere, calling for Queen. Seeing his urgent expression made him even more confused. Peter, what's wrong? Why do you look so rushed? The moment she saw Peter's face, Layla suddenly remembered. Oh, it's that friend of yours without any powers, isn't it? He didn't have time for pleasantries and worriedly announced, Gordon's in trouble. After that, Queen quickly ran to where Gordon was. As soon as he reached the door, he immediately asked about the situation. Gordon, are you okay? Inside, Gordon was covered in blood, but he had already taken down all of his opponents. Seeing the blood of the other students splattered on the ground, the bloodlust inside Queen instantly awakened. But thankfully, Peter's shout quickly suppressed that bloodlust. Gordon, did you beat them all by yourself? Gordon saw the two of them arrive, but just stared without saying a word, then quickly walked past them and left. Ignoring Queen's questions, Gordon, did those guys come after you because of me and Peter? It seemed he didn't want to get them involved, so he quickly created distance. Don't come near me. Everyone will be fine. The amount of blood on Gordon made Layla worriedly insist. Oh my God, you're bleeding so much! You need to get to the infirmary right away! Suddenly, he stopped short, then shot her a glare, which left Layla and Queen a bit confused. After glaring, he left again. Worried, Peter hurried after him. Gordon, where are you going? But he was met with Gordon's cold request. Please, stop bothering me. After that, no one followed Gordon, and they all left together. The last time I met him, he was fine. He seems so strange now. Why did he change so suddenly? What happened before this? But it seemed Peter didn't know what was going on either. I don't know either. At first, Gordon even said he'd practice combat training with me. But halfway through, some upperclassmen took him away. So I went to find you right away. Who would have thought that when I came back, he'd end up like this? Hearing this, Queen thought for a moment. Could it be that the upperclassman said something that provoked him? Suddenly, Peter stopped talking about Gordon and changed the subject to Layla. By the way, who's the girl next to you? When asked, he quickly explained, Oh, I just ran into her. Layla's pretty enthusiastic, so... But she was faster, hugging his arm tightly and inviting him. I was just asking if you want to go eat together. Want to go with just me? On a date! A date! Hearing the word date, Peter tactfully decided to leave so as not to bother them. No, it's fine. I'll go look for Gordon again. Enjoy your meal. I get it. Knowing he had misunderstood, Queen quickly tried to stop him. Hey, why are you being so sudden? He then quickly pulled his arm away from Layla. She didn't pay much mind to these things. She just said, Oh, don't worry about that. I still have a lot of questions for you, and it's inconvenient with other people around. And so she stubbornly clung to him, refusing to let go. Let's go, my treat! Queen really didn't seem to like this and kept struggling. Let me go, I have something important to do. But she stubbornly refused. Stop talking! There's nothing more important than eating. After that, the two of them went to the infirmary together. Worried that Layla wouldn't be able to handle it when he drank her blood, he asked her one more time, Are you sure you can do this? She showed no fear and assured him, I'm sure. Go ahead, don't be shy. Unexpectedly, Layla even proactively offered her neck for him to bite. Just be gentle, okay? Seeing the pose she was making, Queen asked, What are you doing? Realizing her gaffe, she became embarrassed and then explained, Well, that's how you bit me yesterday. But it seemed he really didn't want to do it like that. I already told you, I wasn't in my right mind then. I was so hungry I was about to pass out. When I'm sane, I would never bite someone like that. It's just so unhygienic. Being called unhygienic makes Layla unhappy, haha. Are you saying I'm dirty? Misunderstood, he became flustered and took the blame himself. No, that's not it. What if I hadn't brushed my teeth properly? Who knows, right? Your wound isn't infected, is it? So, as he was drawing her blood, she suddenly screamed in pain. Ow, a little gentler. That's right on the vein. Hearing her scream made him antsy, and he quickly demanded, Be quiet for a second. Don't move. I'm new at this. It'll be in right away. And so after a bit of trial and error, he finally got the hang of it. Phew, success. Finding the blood-drawing process too troublesome, Layla proactively suggested, It would be better if you just bit me. But he gave another reason not to do that. It's not the same. This way I can store some for emergencies. Hearing that line of thinking, and she saw him in a new light. You're actually quite thoughtful. Faced with this compliment, Queen didn't act modest at all and admitted, "It's the wisdom of the poor." Hearing that he was poor, Layla immediately had an idea. If you're really short on cash, you could sell that ability book. An unregistered ability book is enough to ensure you'll live comfortably for the rest of your life. But even if he wanted to, he couldn't possibly do that. I'd like to, but the truth is, the book disappeared the moment I opened it. I can't share it. It merged with my body. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. This was the first time she had ever heard of something like this. She couldn't believe it. Merged with your body? Something like that can happen? Though surprised, Layla understood that such things were possible in this world of ability users. But in truth, many secrets about superpowers have yet to be revealed. How on earth did the original ability users turn their powers into ability books? No one really knows. For someone who understands world history and has environment-controlling abilities, just the thought of one day becoming a vampire herself made her eyes light up. I guarantee that if you develop your ability to its full potential, you could definitely become a real vampire. That's right, I'm sure of it. Hearing that encouragement, Queen just felt even more pressure. Yeah, as long as you're happy. And at the same time, Queen quickly inspected her abilities. Layla Mulo, life value, 12 out of 12. Race, human. Rank, A+. Ability, mind reading. Seeing him drinking her blood made Layla a little excited, wondering what it tasted like. Meanwhile, after drinking the whole vial of blood, he thought, it seems drawing this much. Blood hasn't caused any harm to her body. Next, I just need to find a suitable place to store the rest of it. As soon as he finished, he let out a long sigh and praised, that was delicious, and so satisfying. Receiving such high praise made Layla so excited she couldn't sit still. I thought blood would taste bad before, but with an ability like this, my sense of taste has changed so quickly. It's so good. Has my sense of taste been altered? There's no metallic taste at all. Yes. Then he received a system notification. Your HP is full. Blood has no effect. This target's blood has been consumed and cannot increase attributes. Receiving that notification, Queen quickly realized, I get it. Drinking blood can restore my life force, and drinking blood from different targets can enhance different attributes. He thought about how he almost drank Brandon's blood yesterday, and as he came to his senses, he felt a pang of regret. What a shame. I can't believe I didn't get to drink those two's blood yesterday. What a total waste. But from now on, I can confirm it by just trying it on different people. Layla, who had been observing the expressions on Queen's face this whole time, made her judgment. Seeing you smile creepily like that, I'm sure you've made a new discovery. Seeing her sharp observation, he didn't bother hiding it and admitted, That's right, thank you so much. I have a new direction to go in now. After that, without another word, he pulled Layla towards the library. Let's go. We're going to the library again? Being dragged away so suddenly when I hadn't even eaten made her flustered. She tried to stop him. Wait, you've already eaten. But I haven't eaten yet. At that, he wasn't so cruel as to not let her eat. He winked. All right then, let's go eat. By the way, your fasting blood sugar is a little high. Hearing that Queen could even sense medical conditions surprised Layla. You can taste that too? But it turned out to be just him teasing her. I'm kidding. This made her furious, and she yelled, Get lost! From a corner, Golden saw the two of them roughhousing and looked visibly annoyed. Have you forgotten me so quickly? You are mine. I won't let anyone harm you. After that, Golden's two personalities started arguing about what just happened. That guy is dangerous, isn't he? You can tell just by looking at him. Why are you with someone like that? The kid will be sad. The second personality didn't seem to care much about that. I think you're going too far. Honestly, I don't care if he hurts the kid or not. Even so, that doesn't mean that Queen can't talk to other people. Hearing the rebuttal, the first personality was stunned and then shouted, Let me be clear. If you dare lay a hand on them, I will not forgive you. If you don't believe me, just wait and see. Just then, Peter returned. Hearing voices from inside the room, he wondered, Is Golden back already? Who's he arguing with? Hearing that, the second personality immediately gave his assurance. Don't worry. I absolutely will not let what happened before happen again. Noticing Peter had returned, Golden became flustered. Peter, you're back? Hearing his voice, Peter quickly replied, Yeah. Are you done talking to that other person? I hope I wasn't interrupting. Hearing him say other person made Golden's expression turn awkward. Other person? Was I talking to someone? But Peter insisted, I definitely heard you just now. Only to be cut off by Golden, who ran over and slung an arm around his shoulder. I must have been talking in my sleep.
Come on, let's go get something to eat.
I'm starving. Those thugs today delayed lunch so much that it's almost dinner. Hearing about today's events, he wanted to ask, what did those guys do to you anyway? You've been acting really strange today. But he just laughed it off. Ha ha ha! What could they possibly do to me? That trash just put me in a bit of a bad mood, that's all. But don't worry, I've sorted it out. Queen had spent the whole day with Layla and had even received a regular supply of her blood, for which he was truly grateful. Thanks for today, Layla. But what he didn't expect was that she was now treating him with extreme reverence. It is my honor, my lord. He didn't forget to smile and set up another meeting. See you tomorrow. Layla's formal address really stuck with him. Aha, see you tomorrow. Who's your lord, anyway? You're exaggerating. And finally, after a long day, Queen returned to the dorm. I'm back. He saw the other two focused on Peter's ability. It was the first time Peter had used his power, so he was overjoyed. I did it! I finally did it! Seeing this, Guden immediately cheered him on. That's it! Great job, Peter! He, having just returned, also witnessed it and praised him enthusiastically. Whoa, Peter, you've already mastered your superpower? Since it was the first time he'd used his power, Peter was thrilled and excited. That's right, Queen! This is awesome! I finally have a superpower! Golden, watching from the side, quickly noticed an issue that needed correcting. The only problem is that carrying a lump of mud around is probably a bit weird. So he quickly went over to give some guidance. Try this. Gather all your superpower into one spot. Normally, you can just carry it with you, so when you need it, you at least don't have to start digging. Seeing Golden use his ability so skillfully, Peter was surprised and exclaimed, Whoa, is this a level 5 power? You're amazing! You can already use it so proficiently. Despite the praise, Golden wasn't arrogant. On the contrary, he was humble and tried to boost the boy's confidence. What are you talking about? You can do it easily too. You just need a little practice. Queen, remembering the events of the afternoon, approached Golden to check on him. Are you still okay? Peter and I were both really worried about you. Hearing their concern, he assured them, I just get easily swayed by other people's emotions sometimes, my friend. You'll get used to it. Don't worry, I'm fine. Yeah, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. It wasn't about that. The thing I wanted to ask was, Peter suddenly cut him off. That reminds me, Queen, I still haven't asked you. Are you in love? Hearing this, Guden immediately jumped in, eager for the gossip. Ooh, what's this about? Being misunderstood like that made him panic. Huh? So he mentioned Layla. It's that girl from this afternoon. She seemed really close with you. Hearing that his friend might have a girlfriend, Guden feigned jealousy. You little punk, how dare you secretly get a girlfriend behind our backs? But Queen denied it without a moment's hesitation. That's not it. Layla the student is just... As he was about to explain their relationship, he suddenly remembered Layla calling him master and began to blush and stammer. She's just... He wondered if their relationship was really that of a master and servant. But how could he let anyone else know? He'd be judged to death, so he lied. We're just normal classmates. I'm having her teach me how to use beast gear weapons. That's it. Ha ha. Hearing that their relationship wasn't romantic, Peter believed him. Oh, so that's what it was. So you've decided to join the beast gear team then? Hearing the term beast gear team confused him, based on what he had researched. He then shared some information. That's right, it's for the practical combat class. You still haven't read the materials? We're split into this bare-handed group and the beast gear group. Everyone can choose whether or not to fight using beast gear weapons depending on their preference. Guden also chimed in to help him understand. In situations where our abilities are restricted, the bare-handed group mainly competes on physical prowess, while the beast gear group focuses more on weapon choice and skill. As long as you can leverage your weapon's advantages, even a low-level person can potentially beat a high-level one. The more they talked, the sadder Peter became, since he was still at level 1. Sob, at my current level, I should probably just stick to the bare-handed group. I just hope my opponent doesn't go too hard on me. Guden offered without hesitation. I'll join the bare-handed group with you then. That way we can support each other. Seeing that Guden would join him, he agreed. But that means Queen will be all alone. He got teased again. He's still got that other classmate to take care of him, you know. Being teased like this left him a bit speechless. Hey, don't worry about me, you two. I'll be fine. They still don't know the truth about my abilities. I guess I'll have to find a chance to explain, but still, beast gear weapons doesn't sound too bad. Soon, the day of the practical class arrived. Seeing that all the students were present, Teacher Den began to give instructions. Today, your first task is to choose a weapon. When you lose your superpowers, a weapon will be the only thing you can rely on. A student below quickly predicted what the teacher would say next. Your bare hands are the only things you can rely on. I bet the bare-handed group is getting the exact same speech. Even Kai, standing beside him, acknowledged it. Yeah, so what happens if we lose our weapons, too? As the two were chatting, someone zipped past them, startling them both. The Beast Gear weapons instructor, Teacher Leo, appeared from behind, holding a sword to both their necks and demanding, "Then you can just go die." Layla saw Queen and became curious about his two roommates. "Aren't your two roommates with you?" When asked about his two friends, he replied, They went to the bare-handed group." Hearing that it was just the two of them made her happy. "Oh, that's great. Now we can go together without anyone bothering us." Then she saw someone, and her mood instantly soured. "Tisk, why is she here too?" Hearing Layla, he turned to look. "Who?" He glanced over and saw Aylin standing out in the crowd and immediately remembered. "Oh, it's classmate Aylin, the one who beat you last time. I can't believe she's interested in Beast Gear weapons too." Layla, who had lost badly last time, was now determined to win. "If I face her again this time, I absolutely will not lose." Teacher Leo didn't say much else to the students, instead gesturing toward the weapons. "Now go and choose your own weapons. Each of you may only choose one. I must remind you to properly assess the weight, durability, attack range, and other factors to find the one most suitable for you. After that, the students began to approach and select their weapons, but Queen carefully scouted the weapons on the racks first. This skill of his allowed him to see the weapon's basic parameters. He was very pleased. This skill is so convenient. I can visually see the weapon's effect on my base stats. Suddenly he noticed something. These are gauntlets. What Queen noticed were the Blackhorn gauntlets, a beginner beast weapon. Strength +3, agility +0, stamina +0, defense +2. This weapon is compatible with the Bloodblade skill when equipped. Bloodblade will gain an additional 5% damage. Seeing the stats and the skill on these gauntlets, it's really something to consider. It increases my base stats and enhances my attack skill. This weapon was practically made for me, and so he picked them up, deciding to take them. Just as he took the gauntlets, Teacher Leo came over to advise him. "Young man," he said, "I'd recommend you choose an easier piece of equipment to use." The out-of-the-blue advice confused him. "Huh? Why is that?" Teacher Leo didn't criticize, but patiently explained, "Gauntlets are certainly sturdier than other weapons to a degree and can be used for defense, but their attack range is very short. That means when facing an enemy's sword or blade, you'll have to brave the danger up close to deal any damage." Even after the teacher had explained all that, Queen still felt it suited him and stubbornly insisted, "It's fine, I want to give it a try." Teacher Leo couldn't sway his decision and could only shake his head and walk away. What a strange decision. After the students had chosen their weapons, the teacher called out, "All right, everyone quiet down. Those who have chosen a weapon gather over here. Who wants to be the first to step onto the stage?" Without a word, Aylin raised her hand to volunteer. "I will." Her proactiveness, combined with her ability and beauty, left the other students captivated and whispering amongst themselves. "Whoa, the goddess wants to go first. You wanted to ask her out, right? This is your chance. Getting hit by the goddess would be an honor. The sweet smell comes before the slap, right? Get lost, you pervert!" Teacher Leo was very pleased with her initiative, so he wanted one more person. "Excellent! We have a volunteer. Now who wants to—" Immediately, a crowd of male students volunteered. "I do." Seeing so many people eager to go up made the teacher feel a bit helpless. He picked out the one who looked the strongest in the crowd. "All right, you, the big guy. It's your turn." Hearing the teacher call him, Lupu cheerfully stepped forward. "Humph." Then he spoke very arrogantly. "Hey, Aylin, I've heard your name. Among the freshmen, you're pretty decent. But with a small frame like yours, you can't possibly beat me." Faced with such disdain, Aylin didn't say much, wanting to prove herself with her ability. The guy saw she was ready and charged forward with a crazed look on his face. As Lupu swung down, Aylin quickly parried with her sword. Then, with incredible speed, she appeared right behind him, brought her sword to his neck, and the match was decided. "You talk too much." Seeing no way to counter, Lupu could only concede. I give up." Queen, watching from below, had observed the entire match. He made his assessment. Aylin's ability at this level is truly in a different league from others. There wasn't a single wasted movement. Her fighting process could be called extremely fluid and refined. The other students were also completely stunned. "Huh? It's over? She's so strong. But Layla was still very jealous. She couldn't accept that Aylin was better than her. I could easily handle an opponent of that caliber. Why is she showing off? After watching the match, Teacher Leo spoke loudly. All right, not a bad performance. Next, I'd like everyone to check their wristbands. It will automatically pair you with an opponent of a similar skill level. Once you've found your opponent, you may begin sparring freely. I will be watching from the side. I hope you all fight appropriately. Please don't let any serious injuries occur. And his combat opponent was Faye, level 3. He never expected to be paired with a level 3 opponent, which startled him. A level 3 ability user. I can now fight someone at this level. Meanwhile, Faye saw that he had to fight a level 1 and was incredibly annoyed. Ha ha ha, a level 1 ability user? It seemed his friends couldn't believe it either. Are you kidding, Faye? Later, you'll only be playing with people who have no abilities. Ha 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 ha! Being mocked like that made him even more irritated. Go play somewhere else. This is so annoying. The matchmaking system must be broken. But as Faye left to find his opponent, his two friends continued to jeer. I'm not so sure. Look here. Lupu and I both got paired with level 3 opponents. Yeah, that's right. You should really think about that. Hearing this, Faye walked away. I'm sick of this. I can't be bothered with you guys. His friends seemed to be looking forward to it. We have to watch your brilliant performance before we go fight our own matches. You'll finish up quickly, right? Then, Face pushed through the crowd, heading to the front. Out of the way, trash! Move it! Let me finish this quickly. As soon as he saw Queen, he knew that was his opponent. So it's you! Come on, let's get started. Stop hesitating. I can't believe I'm being provoked like this. I'm a little speechless. He's being completely ignored, huh? Then the other students started looking toward the commotion over here. Look over there. That's the guy with no superpower. He's here for combat practice too? Good thing I wasn't paired with him. You might actually hurt him, haha. Layla, seeing that Face was a higher level, was a bit worried. His opponent seems to be a level 3. Are you going to be okay? But he just brushed her off nonchalantly. It's not a problem. The other students, seeing that his weapons were a pair of gauntlets, began whispering again. What kind of weapon did he pick? They look kind of cool. Combat gauntlets? Those things are totally impractical. Didn't you see the other guy has a 2-meter-long blade? He won't even be able to get close. That's a spear. Same difference. At the same time, a system notification appeared. Complete the mission, defeat your opponent, to receive 60 experience points. A power level disparity has been detected. Completing this mission will grant a special bonus reward. Seeing the system mission pop up made him even more enthusiastic. Perfect timing. I've only been relying on daily quests to gain experience lately, and the progress has been really slow. It's time to try a little harder. So once he was ready, Queen issued the challenge. All right then, let's begin. Seeing Queen's expression, Face was completely dismissive. How pretentious. The moment the words left his mouth, he lunged with his spear, but Queen dodged it in time. His speed was surprisingly fast. This only made Faye more excited. Oh, you're pretty quick. This weapon's greatest strength isn't the thrust, it's the slash. With that, he swung the spear horizontally to strike him with the long blade. In an instant, the blade pierced straight through. All the students on site were stunned. The most worried of all was Layla. Queen! But the bigger surprise was that, in that split second, Queen had caught the blade dead in its tracks with his gauntlet. Afterwards, he couldn't help but think to himself, these combat gauntlets have some seriously good defense. Faye was now unable to move his spear at all. He grew a little scared and demanded, Let go! To his surprise, Queen obediently released his grip. What was that you wanted? Then he bluntly tossed a ball of metal toward him. Here, you can have this back. The students who witnessed Queen's move were in total disbelief. Did that kid just stop Faye's attack? Am I seeing things? Did he just crush Faye's weapon to pieces with one hand? Meanwhile, Eileen was genuinely surprised, and Layla was overjoyed. The atmosphere suddenly became electric. Back in the arena after Queen had effortlessly dealt with him and his weapon, he continued with a direct assault. A single kick sent him flying several hundred meters, slamming him right into the arena's frame. Oof! Ah! To be beaten so miserably. Faye was still trying to talk tough. Cough, cough. Not bad, kid. You've successfully managed to piss me off. But at that moment, Teacher Leo intervened. Stop the match! This is over! The winner is Quintaron! Hearing the result, Faye couldn't accept it. What? How can he be the winner? There was obviously something wrong with my weapon. In response to his protest, Teacher Leo confirmed, There is nothing wrong with the weapon. All of them passed standard inspection. He simply used his weapon better than you did. Two other students still couldn't believe it. No way, how could it break that easily? Yeah, he must have cheated. He had to have used some kind of trick for him to be so confident. The students' persistent doubts made the teacher furious, and he roared, "Silence! No one cheats right under my nose!" At his roar, the two could only comply in fear. Yes, sir. As Queen stepped out of the arena, Layla rushed to meet him, praising him nonstop. You did so well. I was worried about you for nothing. Receiving her praise, he remained humble. It was nothing special. It seems these weapons really suit me. The other students, however, were extremely jealous. What kind of power was that? A supposed level 3 user lost to a guy with no powers? This ranking system is a joke. Maybe he has connections? Can you even fake your rank like that? Who knows? This is boring. Let's split up. I'm gonna go find my own opponent. Just then, Layla noticed two people staring daggers at Queen. She warned him good-naturedly, "But I get the feeling you've just made a few new enemies." The number of people who found him annoying was growing, but he didn't seem to pay it any mind. That's fine with me. It just seems a little wasteful. She didn't understand the word wasteful at first, but when she saw the blood on Face's face, she realized. Oh, so you're hungry, huh? And so Layla immediately gave him a captivating look and promised, "Don't rush. After this is over, I'll let you eat your fill." Heh. Hearing her suggestive words truly made him blush. Well, what are you talking about? After completing the mission, the system sent a notification. Mission, defeat opponent, complete. Received 60 experience points. High-level challenge mission, complete. Bonus reward, 60 experience points. Skill unlocked. Blood bank. The blood bank can store 100 milliliters of blood. Once HP is lower than 5, it will automatically consume stored blood to restore HP. Every 10 milliliters of blood restores 5 HP. Experience is full. Automatically leveling up to level 3. Stamina +1. To level up so much from just one fight. Queen was very surprised. This is awesome, so many rewards. I was just worrying about where to store that blood, and now my vitality has significantly increased as well. Then his information appeared. Queen Taryn. Life, 20 out of 20. Race, demi-human. Level, 3. Experience, 10 out of 400. HP, 20 out of 20. Strength, 11. Agility, 11. Even though his system level had increased, the watch still showed his old rank. Queen Taryn. Level, 1. Superpower, none. The information seems to not quite match what Queen had just displayed. This confused Teacher Leo. Superpower. Queen Taryn. This kid is interesting. And just like that, an hour passed. Seeing that the students were tired, the teacher allowed them to rest. All right, take a short break. Next, we'll begin pair-based combat practice. The students all answered in unison, "Yes, sir." After that, Queen went to find Layla to be his partner. You won pretty easily too, huh? At his praise, she immediately got smug. Of course. When it comes to beast armor weapons, I'm not afraid of anyone. Let's be in the same group for the combat practice later, okay? He agreed without hesitation. Yeah, okay. That guy, after seeing Queen win, Face was still bitter. So his friend approached Face and whispered a plan. I have an idea. Upon hearing the plan, he couldn't help but praise it. Brilliant! Then he approached the two of them and made a proposal. Hey, superstar, how about a team match against us later? One more round. Hearing that request, Layla couldn't help but taunt. Oh, can't stomach a loss, can you? But Face ignored her, speaking as if he were very magnanimous. Now don't say that. I was just underestimating him before. I wasn't using my full strength. In fact, to make things more interesting, how about we make a little wager? If we win, we don't want anything. But if we lose, each of us will give you 10 points. How about it? Layla seemed tempted by the bet and quietly asked him, What do you think? Queen also thought the conditions were great, so he didn't refuse. The terms aren't bad. There's no reason to say no. Hearing his agreement, the two guys confirmed, Great, then it's settled. Face hurried over to register with Teacher Leo. Teacher Leo, we've found our opponents! Can we start first? The teacher agreed without hesitation. All right. The odd behavior of those two made Layla a little worried. I have a feeling they're planning something. Queen felt the same, but still wanted to go through with it. I think so too. They probably just want to save Face. We just have to be careful. Then the other guy raised his shield and announced, We're ready. We can start whenever. Hearing that they were having a rematch, the other students started jeering.
Hey, they're facing off again. This is gonna be a good show. Go, Face, try to last 5 minutes this time. Ha 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 ha! There's a girl on their team this time. Don't you lose and then claim you were going easy on her.
Being taunted like this, Face snapped,
Shut up!
Just as he was about to enter the match, the system issued another mission. System, defeat the opposing pair. Random mission. Mission reward, plus 100 experience. Progress, 0%. Queen saw that the mission's experience reward was very generous, so he no longer cared whether they would actually give up the points in the end or not. As long as there's an experience reward, I absolutely can't pass this up. As he observed the two, he found something strange. Weird. That guy with the cabbage hair only has a shield. No offensive weapon? Layla immediately realized. Looks like they're both planning on close-quarters combat. They probably intend to take you on together. Seeing their opponent's formation, Queen quickly devised a plan. Okay, you help me hold down the one with the shield first. I'll handle the other guy. She agreed without hesitation. Got it. Then, the referee immediately waved the flag. Both teams, to your positions. Match, begin. The moment the word begin was called, both sides rushed at each other. Right now, Face looked incredibly smug. You won't break it so easily this time. Just as the guy was about to charge into their fight, Layla shot one of them down, forcing him to retreat quickly. How dangerous! Then she leaped up and continued to rain down arrows. Your opponent is me. Don't even think about getting close to Queen for a sneak attack. Realizing he'd been seen through, the guy immediately hid behind his shield. Smugly, he said, Oh my, so you saw through me. I was too hasty. Seeing the guy's aimless movements made Layla wary. Strange. This guy isn't getting any closer to Queen, nor does he seem to have any intention of attacking. What on earth is he planning? So the guy just kept hiding behind his shield and then announced, All right, almost there. Vei, who was nearby, heard him and quickly replied, Oh? Then she realized something seemed off about him. He's changed his stance. He's about to attack while no one's paying attention. The guy seized the opportunity to use his ability. His fingers quickly split apart, revealing the bones of his hand. At the same time, Layla realized his superpower. Those bones quickly shot towards Queen. While he wasn't looking, Layla, who was behind him, immediately warned, Queen, be careful. But it seemed it was already too late as the bones had slammed right into his body. Ugh! Not only that, but while he was distracted, Faye lunged forward with a single stab. Queen was hit from the front and back at the same time. It was truly unbelievable. Ugh! Teacher Leo, despite not seeing the fight, could still locate them by sound and realized there was a problem after the guy had been stabbed. Faye then feigned innocence. Oh, sorry, I didn't expect you to not dodge that. You were too careless. The system, now in a panic, also warned, life value -10. Seeing the blood dripping from his body filled him with indignation. You bastard! Layla, completely disapproving of this act, immediately criticized him. Cheating. It was clearly stated before the match that superpowers were not allowed. Even though she pointed it out so clearly, the guy kept denying it. No, you're wrongly accusing me. I'm just using my bones as a weapon, that's all. Surely you don't expect me to fight you with just the shield in my hand, do you? That would be too unfair. Teacher Leo was now furious about this, so he ordered, Put down your shield and get out of my class. Seeing that the punishment was just being kicked out of class, the guy was relieved. All right. Perhaps I misunderstood a bit. The other students also whispered amongst themselves, criticizing him. That was just ugly. Who cares? This is what extreme combat is like. You can't ask your opponent to play by the rules. Layla, afraid something had happened to him, ran over to check. Quinn, are you okay? Are you badly hurt? Even though he was this injured, no one seemed to care and just continued their chatter. Well, either way, that was a bit much. After all, this is just training. Exactly. Besides, he's a high-ranking person. Using tricks like that is just so shameless. Just then, the sword embedded in Queen's body fell to the ground. That shocked Layla so much she was speechless. Then, he smiled and pulled the other sword out of his body. Ha ha ha. So that's how you want to play. Queen bluntly pulled the sword out, startling Faye. Is this guy insane? It seemed his anger had reached its peak, and he decided to go all out. Fine then. I'll play with you until you've had enough. But faced with that murderous aura, Faye's whole body suddenly started to tremble. What's happening? My body is shaking. Calm down. He might have some skill, but he's only a level 1. There's no need to be afraid of him. Before he could even regain his composure, the man had already charged at him like a madman, causing him to scream in terror.
Hey! Teacher Leo!
It seemed things were getting out of control, so he drew his sword and stopped him just before he could take the guy's pathetic life. After stopping him, the teacher spoke up, demanding, "That's enough! Stop now!" Faced with that demand, the murderous aura around him involuntarily vanished. The moment he looked at Teacher Leo, he immediately became wary. This kid, he really wanted to kill him. Quinn didn't want to drag this out and defy the teacher, so Quinn could only let it go with a frustrated, "Shh." Layla ran over, concerned. Quinn, there's so much blood. Don't move." Teacher Leo also quickly called for the medical staff to come and treat him. "Call the medical staff! A student has been injured during combat. Take him for treatment." Then he turned and gave an order to Faye. "As for you, I don't want to see you in my class ever again. We don't welcome people who don't follow the rules here." The guy was now so scared he didn't dare move. "Here!" The other students who witnessed it started whispering to each other again. "Did you see that clearly just now?" "No, not really. That kid's speed is pretty fast." The medical staff then arrived and asked, "Who's injured?" Hearing that, Layla immediately called out, "Over here!" The students were still in the mood to chat. Is that really the speed someone without a superpower should have? Maybe he just awakened it recently. Eileen, for some reason, had to look at Queen in a new light today. Heh. This guy's interesting. Since it wasn't convenient to continue the matches, Teacher Leo announced that class was dismissed. He looked over at the gloves that had been left behind by the man, unable to help but wonder, "Queen, what exactly are you hiding?" This is the first time I've ever seen someone who could bring out the power of the Blackhorn gauntlets to such a degree. Yes, in Dr. Holly's hospital room. After a quick examination, he concluded that it's nothing serious. He just needs to rest and recover. Hearing this conclusion, Layla was overjoyed. "Yes, thank you, Doctor." Worried that Hallie might discover something was wrong, Queen spoke up, asking, "Doctor, you didn't find anything unusual, did you?" In response to his anxiety, she quickly assured him, "No, they look busy as hell. They don't have time to investigate how your wounds healed so quickly. The doctor thinks Teacher Leo was just overreacting. He said you only have a few external injuries." Hearing that assurance, he finally let out a sigh of relief. "Phew, that's good. It's lucky I had your blood to help me recover so fast." Layla had been extremely worried because of today's fight, so she advised him, "Don't be so reckless next time. I was afraid you were going to fight Teacher Leo too." He didn't deny it. "Yeah, I was being reckless. It's a good thing he stopped me, otherwise, if things had blown up, I'm afraid I wouldn't have been able to hide my secret anymore." "Right." After that, Layla took his blood-stained shirt. "All right, you get some rest first. I'll take your clothes to be washed." But Queen didn't want that and tried to stop her. No, you don't have to go to all that trouble." But she was determined to do it. "I can wash them myself." "Don't be a stranger. If they're dirty, they need to be washed." The reason he didn't want her to wash them was, "I think my underwear is in there too." Just as she stepped out of the hospital room, Layla saw his roommate arriving. "Ah, it's Queen's dorm mate." Golden seemed to be rushing over in a hurry. "Quick, is it this way?" Seeing that he was at the right room, Peter confirmed, "Yes, that's right." Seeing the two of them arrive, she asked, "Are you two here for Queen?" "He's in room number 2. After receiving the directions, Peter was truly grateful. Thank you." Then he asked about his condition. "How is he?" Hearing the question about his health, Layla recalled the doctor's words and repeated them. "The doctor said it's nothing serious. He just needs to rest for a while." Golden hadn't said a word until now, but when he saw Queen's clothes in Layla's hands, he was horrified. "Those are Queen's clothes? That's so much blood." "Yes." And just like that, his second personality immediately surfaced, demanding, "See, something happened, I told you. We have to keep an eye on him." "No. What we really need to do is find a chance to kill those people." Don't talk about killing. The kid doesn't like it." Layla found Golden's behavior truly bizarre and leaned in. Who are you talking to?" Peter, standing beside him, was also worried sick. "Golden, are you okay?" Suddenly, Golden's second personality reached out and grabbed Layla's throat, yelling, "Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Tell me, what did you do to Queen?" Being lifted up like that, Layla found it incredibly hard to breathe, while Peter tried to stop him from the side. "Golden!" Layla couldn't understand why Golden was choking her like this. She protested, "Cough, cough. What? I didn't do anything?" Fearing a tragedy, Peter also tried to stop him from acting rashly. "Golden, don't cause a scene. Let go of her now."
We can talk about this calmly. The moment he heard that name ringing in his ears, the second personality became irritated and yelled, "Shut up! Don't call me Golden!" Golden's grip tightened. Unable to break free, Layla quickly focused her powers, then controlled a scalpel, demanding, "Let me go." Withdrawing her words, she sent the scalpel plunging deep into his leg. Layla, having done nothing to deserve this, was furious. Cough, cough, cough. "You've really pissed me off now. I'm warning you. If you dare touch me again, I'll stab you straight through the head." Then, she manipulated several other scalpels to appear in front of Golden, as Peter feared things would escalate. He tried his best to explain things to him. "Golden, she's Queen's friend too. She definitely isn't the one who did this to Queen." But the second personality refused to listen. "No way! Today I'm going to teach this annoying little brat a lesson." The first personality hurriedly tried to stop him. "Wait, what Peter said isn't wrong. I've heard Queen mention this girl before. She's innocent. Move aside for a bit. I want to talk to her." Layla saw Golden talking to himself like this, and couldn't understand it at all. Who is he talking to? And so, Golden, with his first personality, rushed to apologize for his earlier actions. "Sorry, I have to apologize to you for what just happened. I think I was a bit hasty." She still wanted to say something. "You—" But she was cut off by Golden. "I just want to know what happened to Queen." And so, Layla quickly compromised and recalled her weapons. "I have nothing to say to you." Then she picked up the bloody items. "Queen is in the hospital room. If you want to know something, go ask him yourself." Before leaving, she didn't forget to tell Peter to take Golden to a psychiatrist. A sincere piece of advice for the guy wearing glasses. You really should take him to see someone. Hearing that reminder, he was a bit stunned. "Oh, I'm so sorry. He's not usually like this." After talking to her, Peter turned to help Golden up. "Golden, are you all right? Your actions today were really strange." He pulled the scalpel out of his thigh, insisting, "It's nothing, I'm still fine." Then, his second personality took control of the scalpel, continuing to suspect she's run off. "How do you know she isn't tricking you?" With that suspicion, Golden proposed a solution. "Maybe we should check with Queen first." But his other self refused to listen. "Cut it out. I just want revenge. Maybe that pretty girl should have an accident on her way home, huh?" But Golden didn't want anything to happen to Layla, so he quickly tried to stop him. "Didn't you hear what I said? She's Queen's friend!" But his other personality was adamant on getting his way. "So what? I don't like her, me neither." Peter, hearing Golden's conversation, backed away in fear. Ugh, Golden. Only then did Golden remember someone else was there, so he looked up and smiled. What's wrong?" Peter was sweating bullets and quickly denied it. Nothing." Meanwhile, that other guy, after getting kicked out of class, was still resentful. "Honestly, it wasn't even a big deal, and she kicked us out of class. We should have just beaten him up. A guy like that is useless anyway." Faye wanted to say it would have been better if they'd won the fight, but now... Then he blamed the other guy for everything. "This was all your idea." Now we're completely humiliated. They were both in on it, but being blamed like that made the guy angry. He started picking a fight with Faye. "You don't seem too happy, huh? Do you want me to remind you of the gap between us?" Faced with this pressure, he immediately backed down. I didn't mean it like that." In the end, the other guy wasn't forgiving and warned him again, "You shouldn't complain to me." Even after bullying him to no end, the guy still wanted to cause trouble. "Tonight, let's find that kid. If we don't teach him a lesson, people will think we're easy targets." Faye, facing someone of a higher rank, could only agree. That evening, in the hospital room, after hearing everything, Peter couldn't believe it. That's too much. How could they do that? Golden, however, was furious and wanted to get revenge for Queen. "I'll go take care of them for you." But he stopped him. "Come on, the teacher already kicked them out of class. It probably won't happen again." Even though he knew that, he was still very worried. "That's easy for you to say." Golden didn't hesitate to offer a solution. "From now on, let's still attend class together. If anything happens, we can help each other." But he didn't want to depend too much on Golden, so he refused. "It's okay, Golden. I told you. You can't protect us forever. In the end, we have to rely on ourselves. Besides, luckily this course is a good fit for me. It's helped me learn a lot of new things." And Peter also felt that what he said was right. "That's right. I also learned a lot in the hand-to-hand combat class." As he was talking, he suddenly noticed something. "Huh? Golden, what's wrong with your leg? He saw a bandaged wound on Golden's leg, but Golden just turned away and laughed it off. Oh, this? Ha ha ha, it's nothing. Just a few scrapes from training. Don't worry about it. I'm going to the restroom for a bit. He had just been sitting there in a daze. Once Golden left, Peter started whispering to Queen about what he had just witnessed. Queen, actually, Golden has been a little strange lately. His moods change a lot, and he's often talking to himself. Hearing that the old condition was back, he was puzzled. This is happening again? He didn't hesitate to recount the recent conflict. Yeah, a little while ago, he got angry because he was worried about your situation and got into a fight with Layla. That's how she hit him in the leg. Hearing that he'd picked a fight with Layla, he got a little worried. Layla? No wonder. How is she? And Peter, judging by her condition and expression earlier, surmised, she's mostly fine, just a little frightened. Hearing that nothing serious happened, he breathed a sigh of relief. Phew, it's good that she's okay. I'll pretend I don't know about this for now, to avoid provoking him further. Even so, Peter still wanted to know. But I really don't understand why Golden suddenly became like that. Is it really a psychological illness? Faced with this speculation, he also pondered, I can't rule out that possibility. I'll find a chance to ask the doctor later. While the two were talking about Golden's condition, he suddenly appeared and asked Peter, It's getting late. Shouldn't we get going? Golden's sudden appearance left them both bewildered. Peter awkwardly asked Queen, I guess you can't go back to the dorm today, huh? He didn't hesitate to confirm. Yeah, I need to stay in the hospital for observation for 2 more days. And so, Golden left with Peter. Well, we'll be going first then. He was a little touched by the attention from his friends, thanking them for coming to visit. But Golden paid it no mind, let alone offered any thanks. We're brothers, after all. Yes, the two left immediately, chatting about dinner. What do you want to eat tonight? My treat. Hearing he was being treated, Peter got excited. Really? Then let's get some pork ribs. He agreed without a moment's hesitation. Deal. Thick-cut pork ribs are the best. Seeing the two of them leave, Faye finally breathed a sigh of relief. That scared the hell out of me. Good thing I didn't walk right in. I almost bumped into that big oaf. He's weaker than us, but still talks big. What's there to be afraid of? Even if we did run into him, the two of us together could have handled him. Then his expression darkened as he gave an order. In a bit, be smart. Lure that kid to a place with no cameras before you make your move. Faye agreed without hesitation. No problem. Just then, Queen also pushed the door open to leave. Seeing this, the guy quickly reported, He's coming out. Follow him. Faye quickly acknowledged the order. Got it. Later, amidst the noise and commotion between patients and doctors in the hospital, this dinner is so hard to eat. It's as bland as plain broth. This is a hospital. Did you think this was your house? You think you have a personal chef to cook for you every day? I already told you. I'm fine. You don't have to visit me every day. I'm your supervisor. You need to take your medicine on time. This is such a pain. He then walked off alone. Faye, who had been following, was confused. He's going upstairs. Then he quickly realized, this way leads to the rooftop. Seeing his target heading to the right place without any effort made him happy. Perfect timing. So Faye quickly gave a signal. I'll follow from behind. You circle around to the other side. Wait for my signal, and we'll surround him at the same time. The guy received the signal and gave a quick nod. But when Faye reached the rooftop and opened the door, he found the place completely empty and was confused. Where is he? Just then, Queen, who had appeared from a higher spot, looked down and asked, Are you looking for me? That feeling sent a shiver down his spine. He quickly looked up to see who it was, only to be met with an incredibly terrifying face lunging at him. After Faye had been gone for a while, the other guy still hadn't received any signal, so he went up to look for him. Tisk, that Faye, why hasn't he sent the signal yet? What on earth is he hesitating for? So useless. As he arrived at the rooftop door, he suddenly stopped. Then, his face quickly turned pale. Well, what is that thing? Queen, on the other hand, paid no mind and continued to feed on Faye's blood. Despite seeing the scene, the guy still charged forward. Get off of him! But he didn't seem scared at all and turned to look. The guy quickly fired a shot. With incredible speed, he dodged the attack and circled around behind him. The guy didn't even have time to react. He's too fast! When he struck, the guy had just barely managed to block it with his weapon, but the force was too great, making it hard for him to hold on. This strength is almost monstrous, but while pinning him, he used his other hand to condense his power. The guy was no slouch either. He took a deep breath,
and then exhaled, causing countless bones to protrude from his body. Caught off guard, he was wounded by a bone and staggered back, his injured arm trembling uncontrollably. Thinking he had won, the guy grew smug. Phew, that was close. If I didn't have this defensive measure, I really don't think I could have taken your next hit. Now it's my turn to attack. Prepare yourself. But before he could finish his sentence, he noticed a problem. His wound. It's healing. The wound healed so quickly that he couldn't believe his eyes. No way. To think our academy was hiding this kind of monster. When the wound had completely healed, Queen stood up and lunged at him, radiating killing intent. Just the force of his condensed power was enough to shatter the 2 bone blades the guy used to defend himself. My bone swords, they broke! The guy couldn't accept this. He made jagged bone spikes jut out, enveloping himself in a protective cocoon, but it couldn't last long. No, this can't be. This power, the attack frequency is too high. My defense can't block it! And so, he was sent flying into a corner of the rooftop with a single punch. After taking care of the 2 of them, the system immediately displayed a notification. Defeated an enemy duo. Random quest. Quest reward. Plus 100 experience points. Blood bank has been fully replenished. Strength +1. Agility +1. Next was the status screen. Currently level 3. Race. Human female. Name. Queen Terran. Experience. 120 out of 400. Health. 20 out of 20. Base attributes. Strength 12. Agility 12. Stamina. Seeing his experience points increase made Queen's eyes light up. Maybe I'll just drink a little more blood. Just then a nurse appeared, talking on her phone. Isn't Helen supposed to be on duty tonight? What are you doing here? Oh, she said her boyfriend rarely comes back from the front lines and she wanted to have a date with him, so she asked me to switch shifts. As soon as I heard that reason, the head nurse couldn't help but praise her. You're so kind-hearted. Hurry up and clear all this stuff away. Just then, that nurse saw something wasn't right and panicked. Hey, look over there! She went over to check and found that they were still breathing. Quick, call for help! Call the ER! 2 students have been found on the rooftop, suspected of being attacked and are unconscious. Emergency doctors and security are needed immediately. Queen hid in a corner, observing and assessing the situation. This is not good. If I go down the stairs now, I'll risk being discovered. But if I just stay hidden here, it'll be even more trouble when security shows up. He had no idea what to do. What am I going to do now? Suddenly, Layla appeared from nowhere behind him and whispered, Hey, what are you doing hiding here? The moment he heard a voice, Quinn spun around and clapped a hand over her mouth. Startled by being grabbed so suddenly, she struggled frantically. Then he realized it was Layla and quickly apologized. Layla, what are you doing here? Sorry. Once he let go, she breathed a sigh of relief. You nearly scared me to death. I saw you hiding over there, so I came looking for you. He was confused, not knowing where Layla meant by over there. Over there? Don't tell me you flew here, that's incredible. At the compliment, her eyes instantly lit up. That's right, she confirmed. Want me to take you for a spin? After hearing that 2 people were dying, the doctors rushed up. Where are the patients? Over this way! You guys spread out and check the area. First, secure all the exits. Seeing the guards arrive, Quyen quickly urged Layla to get him out of there. Quick, get me over there! She was still trying to say something. Hey, wait for me, wait a minute. But by then, they were both hovering in midair, then falling together with a piercing scream through the night. Why can't we fly? I told you to wait a second. After regaining her composure, she focused her power, and the 2 of them flew back to the hospital room. It was the first time he had ever experienced something like this. He was so excited. Whoa, we're actually flying. Seeing him squirming around, she anxiously pleaded, Don't move. Finally, they both made it back to the hospital room. Using her power to carry another person was sheer torture for her. Phew! Carrying one person is one thing. Controlling 2 people like this is my absolute limit. Experiencing this for the first time, Queen was amazed and exclaimed, I never knew your ability could be used this way. Now that the coast was clear, Layla wanted to know, So, can you tell me what happened now? At her question, Quyen patiently began to explain. It's a long story. After a while, Layla finally understood the whole situation. So it was them. They're more annoying than flies. What are you going to do now? What if they reveal your secret? But Quyen didn't seem too concerned. He asserted calmly, There's no need to worry. Even if they got a clear look at my face, they have no proof that I did anything. Besides, revealing this would be the same as bragging about how they got their butts kicked, so that's even less likely. After explaining his side, he changed the subject to the conflict between her and Golden. Setting my situation aside for a moment, what's the deal with you and Golden anyway? The moment she heard Golden's name, she got annoyed. That lunatic. Then she kindly warned him. You should be careful. There's definitely something seriously wrong with that guy. The night passed quickly. The next morning, Quyen finally left the hospital. He couldn't stop thinking about what Layla had told him yesterday. A serious problem. That night, she had recounted what she knew based on her own previous observations. You've probably seen it too, right? Times when his personality suddenly changes, or when he talks to himself? I suspect it's some kind of mental illness. When he gets triggered, he has an episode. During those times, his behavior is completely out of control. This left him wondering, Golden has a mental illness? Could this be related to his superpower? Just then, the guy showed up, his voice trembling. Quyen? Hello? Sorry to bother you for a second. The moment he saw the guy, Quyen recognized him. Oh, it's you. You're surprisingly polite today. What's going on? The guy was extremely anxious as he apologized for everything he'd done. About yesterday. I'm sorry. We hurt you during practice. I thought about it afterwards and realized our behavior was completely unacceptable. So I felt I needed to sincerely apologize to you. To suddenly receive an apology like this left him a bit surprised. Why the sudden change of heart? The guy then brought up the previous night. Look, about what happened last night, I promise I won't say a word about you, so please, just spare me. At the mention of last night, Quyen's expression immediately darkened. Last night? What about last night? Seeing that look on his face, the guy panicked and quickly backtracked. Nothing. It was nothing. I didn't see anything last night. I didn't see you at all. Please, just give me one more chance. I swear I'll never repeat it or bother you again. Seeing that the guy was too scared to reveal anything, he let it go. All right. I don't need you to do anything. Just get lost. Model. Before leaving, the guy didn't forget to turn back and thank him. Oh, okay, I'm going now. Thank you, boss, for sparing my life. Watching him act like that just made him even more pathetic. Layla, who's known for bullying the weak and fearing the strong, seemed to have been looking for him for a while, so she ran up to him. Queen, I finally found you. Her sudden urgency confused him. Layla, what's wrong? Why were you looking for me? Though she knew everything, she still rushed to inform him. Something terrible has happened. I heard one of the people you attacked last night is dead. Hearing this, he couldn't believe it. Meanwhile, Hallie used the watch on the victim's wrist to confirm the details. The deceased's name is Faye, a first-year student. Time of death was 11:50 last night. The cause of death was excessive blood loss. His body has multiple tears, suggesting he might have been attacked by some kind of wild beast. Reeve seemed to find this unbelievable. How is that possible? She went over and pulled back the victim's blanket to observe. School security is extremely strict. A wild animal could never get in here. She wanted to know more, so she asked, was he still conscious when he was brought in? But Hallie's report said otherwise. He was already in a coma when he arrived. And what's even stranger, he was brought in twice last night. Hearing this, she couldn't help but be confused. Twice? Hallie explained everything that happened with the victim last night. The first time was around 9 o'clock. He was brought in with another male student named Lubu. At that time, they both had bite marks on their necks, but when they woke up, they both said they couldn't clearly see what attacked them. But just a few hours later, the nurse on duty brought him in again. At that time, the nurse was very worried and brought the victim to Hallie. Dr. Hallie, this student was found collapsed in front of the hospital gate. He's lost too much blood. His pupils are no longer responsive. Under those circumstances, Hallie immediately gave the order. Get him to the emergency room, now! But Reeve didn't seem to believe it. Are you kidding me? A wound that small? It doesn't look like a bite mark at all. Hallie pointed out an abnormality on the victim. That's not the strange part. This wound looks a lot like a snake bite, but it's much larger. What's more, for some reason it healed very quickly. Now you can't see a trace of it. He then turned and asked, So, what have you found? Only to receive her reply, There are no leads whatsoever. First, let's bring in everyone involved for questioning. The next day, during combat practice, the students were buzzing with noisy chatter. Hey, did you hear? Yeah, I heard. But I don't think it's possible. Seriously, you can never tell with people like him. He's the scariest type. Suddenly being bad-mouthed like this annoyed Layla. All they know how to do is gossip behind people's backs. Queen, on the other hand, didn't seem to care much. He adjusted his gloves and advised her, Don't pay any attention to them.
Just let them think what they want. Even though she knew that, she still couldn't accept it. But just then, Mr. Leo walked over with 2 guards wanting to ask him something. "Queen, the military has some business with you and would like to ask you a few questions. Please go with them." Afraid something might happen to him, Layla called out anxiously, "Queen!" He, in contrast, was very calm. "Excuse me, but may I ask what this is about?" Mr. Leo found it awkward to say much in front of so many students. So he assured him, "Someone will explain when you get there. Don't worry too much. It's just a few routine questions." Fine. And so he had no choice but to follow them. "Yes, I understand." He silently wondered, could it be that that guy already told them about me? From behind, she tried to say something. "Queen, if anything." But he paid her no mind and left. He didn't forget to wave, assuring her, "Don't worry, nothing's going to happen. I'll be back in a bit." Seeing that they had left, Mr. Leo raised his voice to address the class. "All right, begin free practice. Everyone be careful. Let's not have any fatal injuries." The group of students replied in unison, "Yes, sir," and then began to whisper among themselves. "See? He's definitely suspicious. The military even sent people for him. You really can't judge a book by its cover. I never would have thought someone who looks so weak could be so ruthless. He's the type to hold a grudge. That's murder. He's truly merciless." Inside the interrogation room, as soon as Queen arrived, a guard asked him to sit down, then gently reassured him, "Don't be nervous. As long as you haven't done anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about." Hearing this, he obediently replied, Okay. The system is really here. I really don't have anything to worry about." She began her investigation. "I assume you've heard that a student named Faye died unexpectedly last night. Although we don't think a student with no superpowers could be the culprit, because you two had a conflict during combat practice yesterday, we still had to bring you in for questioning. Now place your hand on mine." Queen did as he was told, placing his hand on hers. "Like this?" Seeing his posture was correct, she praised him. "Yes, that's good." The physical contact made Queen a bit confused. What is she trying to do? At that moment, a notification appeared from the system. "Skill activation detected. This skill cannot be refused." This threw him into a panic. The system's defense is ineffective? Then, Queen's mind felt like it was being controlled, forcing him to tell the truth. She spoke up and asked the question. "Now answer me. Was it you who killed Faye last night?" Hearing that question, even though he was being controlled, he immediately denied it. "It wasn't me." She observed him for a moment, then made her conclusion. "All right, he's telling the truth. The interrogation is over." Only then did he snap back to his senses, his face grim as he watched her leave, worrying, did she find out just now? Her superpower can actually neutralize the system's defenses. Reeves stated her conclusion without any more words. "Queen Taryn, you are innocent. You may return." All that for an interrogation? Queen couldn't believe it. That's it?" She affirmed it. "Yes. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm very sorry for taking up your time." After that, Mr. Leo also left, looking annoyed, because no one had listened to him. I told you so. He's innocent. Queen, come with me." He obediently followed the professor. Thinking to himself, she seemed to ask me a few questions, but I'm sure they weren't related to my superpower. But right now, there aren't any clues. Feeling a bit helpless, she sighed. "We don't have any other leads right now." Rever didn't waste any words and made a decision. "Since there are no suspects, let's just rule it an accident." But she still seemed hesitant. Is it okay to be so hasty? He couldn't really investigate any further either, so he decided to just go with what he'd said. Let's just leave it at that. If the higher-ups really want to investigate, they'll send the report back. If I'm too stubborn, I'm worried I'll get mixed up with those people. Queen, sometimes it's really better to be a little oblivious. After class ended, Layla saw that Queen was okay and felt relieved. Oh, thank goodness. Luckily, that person didn't ask too much. It was just an interrogation. No one can lie under her power. I still don't understand why they only asked such a simple question. It's strange now that you mention it. They just confirmed I wasn't the killer and let me go. I'm sure I just knocked the guy out and drank a little bit of his blood. There's no way I could have killed him. Who did it then? That made him wonder. It seemed like she had noticed something which confused him. What's wrong? Layla pointed ahead, getting his attention. Isn't that your roommate? He followed her gaze. He felt a bit awkward just then. Why is he with those guys? Over here, Mac slung his arm around Peter and asked, You think so too, right? Being a coward,
He could only force a smile and reply, yeah, that's right. Ha ha. Worried he was in trouble, he called out from a distance, Peter! He was afraid that group was bullying Peter, so Queen rushed over, wanting to help. They must be threatening him. Wait here for me. But Layla firmly stopped him from going. Wait, look over there. Another one of your good friends is heading over. Just then, Golden, worried Peter was in trouble, approached to help. Peter, are you in any trouble? Seeing him, Peter called out shakily, Golden! Mac suddenly scoffed. Seriously, what's this guy talking about? What trouble could he be in hanging out with us? Right, Peter, my man? Under that pressure, he could only agree. Yeah. He was worried that Peter would get into trouble if he went with this group. So Golden immediately insisted, Peter, let's go have lunch together. But Jelly, like a guard dog, blocked him. Hey, you're really annoying. Can't you see we're already eating together? What's the matter? Is he only allowed to hang out with you? Can't he have other friends? Or what, do you think he's your property or something? Hearing these words, his expression quickly darkened. Mac didn't want to drag it out any longer, so he started pulling him away. Let's go. We're done eating anyway. Let's give the spot to other students who need it. Leave the useless guy to the other useless guy. Veli couldn't resist getting a few jabs in. Why are you so happy helping other people, huh? Ha ha. Golden still tried to stop them, calling out, Peter! But for some reason he insisted on going with them. Golden. It's like they said, I'm going with them willingly. Veli thought this was taking too long and cut in. Don't pay any attention to him. Let's go check out the VR training pods later. As soon as he heard this, he got excited. Oh, that's a great idea. What do you say? You've never tried it before? Peter confirmed it. That's right. I've never been. Just then, Queen ran up, calling out to Golden. Golden was watching them go, his face full of worry. Queen, you saw that, didn't you? I thought Peter was in trouble, but he himself said that wasn't the case. I don't mind him making new friends, but I have a feeling those guys aren't that nice. Queen felt the same way. I have the same feeling. Let's ask him about it tonight when we get back to the dorm. Suddenly, Layla appeared, chiming in with a teasing tone aimed at Golden. Oh, is that so? Layla, I feel like you're still quite bothered by him making new friends. Things are already so awkward and she just has to stir the pot, leaving me with no idea how to handle this. Seeing that his animosity with Layla hadn't subsided, he tried to apologize again. Layla, I know there have been some misunderstandings between us. I truly want to apologize to you. But she turned away, unwilling to listen. There's no need. If you're truly sorry, then keep your distance from me. That's what I want most. Honestly, Golden has been acting too suspiciously lately. So Queen spoke up, offering, Golden, I know you have things you can't easily talk about, but we're friends. If you ever need anything, you can come talk to me anytime. But for some reason, he avoided eye contact and replied, I know, I want to explain things to you guys, but I'm afraid you wouldn't be able to accept it. And with that, Golden left, promising to talk later. Let's do it tonight. We'll wait for Peter to get back, and we'll all talk it out properly. The thought that all the knots could be untangled tonight lifted his spirits. Yeah, see you tonight. Layla, who had overheard, was left speechless. Such deep brotherly love. Are you planning to tell them your secret too? Faced with this question, Queen got a little flustered. That? I'll just cross that bridge when I come to it. But that night, Queen waited until morning, and neither of them came back. They weren't answering their phones or replying to messages. Could something have happened? But even so, he still had to go to class. He had to go to school. If they're still not in class, I'll report it to the military. Just as he arrived at school, he heard an announcement. All first-year cadets please proceed to the auditorium. Hearing the announcement, the cadets gathered noisily in front of the auditorium. Is there some kind of special event in the auditorium? Haven't heard anything about it. Oh well, at least we don't have to go to class. Let's go. Layla, arriving later, also didn't know what was happening, so she approached Queen to ask, What's going on in the auditorium? But it seemed he didn't know either. I have no idea. But Golden and Peter didn't come back last night. I'm worried this might have something to do with them. Seeing how worried he was, she immediately reassured him. Don't overthink it. Let's go over there and see what's happening. Inside the auditorium, they could still hear the chatter of many cadets. What is this? Is there a performance? Who would be performing? Are they going to call up the upperclassmen to perform? Or maybe the officers will put on a show for you. Feels more like we're here to listen to a lecture from the leadership. So what? If the leadership lectures you, it means they think you're important. Don't be ungrateful. Ha ha ha, give me a break. I'd rather be in class than listen to the leadership ramble on.
He stepped into the auditorium but didn't see any teachers there. This made Layla a bit anxious. Hey, something's not right. There aren't any teachers here. He too seemed to feel that something was strange. The front was filled with upperclassmen. From the crowd, Queen even spotted Jaylee. Jaylee? Why is he standing with the second-year cadets? Just then the show began. A spotlight hit Mac as he stepped onto the stage to speak. Welcome all of you here today. I have prepared a special activity for everyone. You can look forward to it. As soon as they heard special activity, the cadets started buzzing. He said a special activity. You think he's bringing in a celebrity? No way. Oh, this is a military academy. He paid no mind to the chatter and continued. I believe you all know that this school has always had certain precious systems. These precious systems have been maintained to this day. For a reason. However, some arrogant new cadets want to challenge it. And today I am here to tell you what happens to those who refuse to follow the airline system. Hearing this from the crowd made him a little angry. Then, Mac continued, pulling back the curtain. What will be their fate? Every cadet's face froze in fear. What is going on? Do the teachers know about this? My God. Both Queen and Layla were startled by the sight before them. On the stage was Golden, covered in injuries, his entire body tied tightly to a wooden figure like a criminal. Golden! His eyes seemed completely empty, helpless. Mac, seeing this sight, was incredibly pleased. Ha! He then turned back to the crowd to assure them, don't get the wrong idea. For those who are obedient and listen to me, I am still willing to teach you a few things. Come here. He picked up a beast orb. I think you all know that the war between Earthlings and the Danki tribe had two turning points. One was the large-scale awakening of superpowers, and the other was a technological breakthrough. The integration of beast orbs into weapons. In my hand, I hold a primary-level beast orb. Activating it will unleash its power. The higher the grade of the beast orb used to forge a weapon, the greater the power it will unleash. So today, you will learn how to activate and use these weapons. His sheer insolence made him clench his teeth in anger. How dare he gather everyone in the auditorium and brazenly do something like this? Isn't he afraid the Academy will hold him accountable? Suddenly, a brave cadet raised his hand and spoke up. Sorry to interrupt, but may I ask which teacher authorized you to teach us? Even if that were the case, first-year students shouldn't be learning these things. And what's the deal with that student who's tied up over there? Hearing those questions, Jaylee turned around, annoyed. He then punched the cadet straight in the face and questioned him. You little brat. You should have learned to keep your mouth shut. After the beatdown, Momo asked again, My dear fellow students, any other questions? But it seemed everyone was silent, terrified by the punch he'd just thrown. Seeing how obedient they all were, he couldn't help but praise them. Very good. Momo held up a spirit beast sphere as light quickly gathered inside it. Remember, you all need to focus on this sphere. Imagine it's a part of your body and channel your power into it. When the sphere changes color, it means you've successfully activated it. Next, you just have to throw it and hit the target. Simple, right? The students below whispered among themselves, the target he's talking about. Could it be another student? Another immediately confirmed, it must be. Isn't he openly forcing us to be the villains? Sensing the students had a lot to say, Momo immediately called someone up. You, the girl over there, you demonstrate first. Suddenly being called out, Xiaolin was stunned. Huh? Me? She didn't dare to attack Golden, so she refused. No, I can't. Momo immediately let out a frustrated sigh. Honestly, you only get one chance. If you can't do it, I'll have no other choice. As soon as he finished speaking, he threw the crystal sphere right at Xiaolin. It sent her falling to the ground, coughing up blood in agony. The student next to her cried out her name in worry. Xiaolin! After dealing with Xiaolin, he ran a hand through his hair, showing his displeasure. What's wrong with you first years? I've already told you people and you still don't get it? When I tell you to do something, you do it. Understand? Yes, sir. And so Jelly quickly handed a sphere to that student. Hurry up! You, it's your turn. Faced with this coercion, the student hesitated for a moment. Huh? Yes. Then Momo spoke cheerfully. I hope you can perform better. Everyone is watching, you know. And so, to save his own skin, the student had no choice but to comply. Golden, I'm sorry. As he finished speaking, the sphere flew straight into Golden's stomach. Seeing this, Momo was very pleased. Ha ha ha, see that? That's how it's done, wasn't that easy? So who's next? Layla was extremely worried, afraid something would happen to Golden, but she had no solution. Those bastards.
They're so shameless. Queen, we have to find a chance to break out of here.
Let's contact the supervising teacher. We can go find Mr. Rio first. He definitely won't just stand by and watch. Meanwhile, as Momo was about to pick the next person, he said, "If no one volunteers, I'll just pick someone at random, okay?" But then Queen strode forward, leaving Layla bewildered. She tried to stop him. "Queen, what are you doing?" "Hey!" Queen walked up, wanting to take a sphere. "I'll go first. I want to try." Seeing him volunteer, Momo felt that things were suddenly getting more interesting. "You're his dorm roommate, aren't you? This is interesting indeed." Veli told him to give the spirit beast sphere to him. So Jelly, like a loyal dog, handed the sphere over. "Yes, sir." Queen took the sphere and gave an incredibly innocent smile. But what no one expected was, his expression was now incredibly sinister. The other students below who witnessed Queen's shameless act couldn't help but whisper among themselves. "What's the meaning of this? Isn't that guy really close with Golden?" "Yeah. For him to step up now, is he in a hurry to surrender to the second years? Look at that bootlicking expression on his face. And after Golden always looked out for him, how disgusting. First grade trash. I didn't expect his character to be trash too. Revolting." Momo acted magnanimously and urged him on. "Hurry up and activate it. Don't mind what others think." He looked at the sphere in his hand and formulated a plan. "I need to deal with these guys in the shortest amount of time. The toughest one is this level 6 guy. That level 4 Jelly is also a problem. He seems to be on high alert right now." Then he noticed the others. Besides them, there are 8 second years surrounding us. 2 of them are guarding Golden. Although we have the advantage in numbers, everyone is terrified. Someone needs to step up and lead. The most powerful one is Eileen. Let's give it a shot. Queen, not having taken any action yet, was starting to annoy Momo. "Hey, what are you dawdling for?" So Queen quickly apologized. "Sorry, I haven't quite gotten the hang of it yet. Let me try again." Below, the students were still chattering noisily. "Geez, someone with no talent is such a pain. He can't even activate a weapon properly. He'd be better off dropping out and doing something else." At that moment, a system notification appeared. System notification. Low-tier weapon. Spirit Beast Sphere. Upon activation, attack plus 5%. Activate? He saw it and immediately thought with suspicion, "I can use the system to activate this thing too?" Then, without hesitation, he activated it. A stream of light immediately converged on the sphere, startling Momo. "What is this? This brightness?" He fully activated the beast ball. How is that possible? Isn't he supposed to be powerless? Besides, he's only level 1. Before I throw this ball in my hand, I still have a few words to say. I have something to say to everyone. Why do we want to have superpowers? Gordon, his eyes now open, saw him walking closer and wanted to stop Queen. "Don't!" But Queen didn't listen and continued. "Why does everyone train themselves to the point of exhaustion like this? Isn't it so we can protect the people around us?" Then he threw the ball without hesitation. Mac, seeming impatient, ordered, "What are you standing there for? Get him for me!" As the students panicked and screamed, "Ah!" Queen took the chance to run. "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" But as he got near the stage, he was blocked by Jelly. "This guy just never learns. You think you can get away?" Queen didn't have much time to worry about things like that, so he picked up another ball, then threw it at Jelly, annoying him. "You think you can hit me with that? How naive!" While Jelly dodged, it hit someone else, which made him even more gleeful. But it hit someone else. Seeing this, he spoke with contempt. The second years are completely useless." Seeing that no one was making a move, Mac shouted, urging on the first years. "Everyone get him! Don't let him escape!" Faced with these arrogant demands, that student hesitated slightly, but Layla retorted loudly, "Why should we listen to you? Just because you know how to use violence against others?" So he wasted no more words and was about to attack the students. "Fine. If that's how it's going to be, then I won't be holding back anymore. Anyone who disobeys my orders will be attacked." And just as he said, one of them used their water ability to attack the stands. But luckily, it was blocked by a sheet of ice. "Here." Ellen stepped forward, taking charge. "I didn't want to interfere, but you attacked me first." Seeing their ability blocked made the two of them angry, gritting their teeth. "Who is that? All of my attacks were frozen." She didn't waste words and introduced herself. "It's Aylin Hiley." As soon as they heard the name, the two of them immediately recognized her. "I know her. A level 5 ice-type morph ability. Her attribute counters mine." Then let's team up. After that, the two of them continuously attacked her, but it was all neutralized. The other guy used an earth ability to attack. She can transform water, but what about rocks? Let's see what she does now. You think you can beat all of us by yourself? But what that guy didn't expect was that there were still others. At that moment, 2 arrows flew in, sticking straight into the ground. Layla was no longer competing with her now. Instead, she was ready to fight side by side. She's not alone. Peter, seeing the chaotic situation, could only hide in a corner, trembling, and constantly blaming himself. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. Earlier, he had followed Mac to the hall, not knowing the conspiracy hidden within. Hey, didn't you say we were going to the VR training room? Why are we at the auditorium? When asked, he just smirked nonchalantly. Yeah, and then revealed everything. Because some guy was following us. I'm talking about you, Gordon. At that moment, Gordon also appeared, but he was surrounded by students. Worried something would happen to Peter, he made a decision. Peter, I'm sorry. I got you involved in this, run. But he wouldn't let him go so easily. Trying to leave? You dared to lay a hand on one of our guys. We have to settle this score with you. Hearing this, Gordon immediately demanded, if you have a problem, take it up with me. Don't touch Peter! This made Peter panic. Gordon! But as he shouted, go! Just go! Go! He was beaten down by those guys. Mac, witnessing this, seemed very pleased. You have no business here anymore. If you don't want to die, shut your mouth. And Peter, seeing Gordon captured because of him, trembled. I'm the one who got Gordon hurt, facing those high-level guys. I don't even have the courage to fight back. I'm such a coward. While he was blaming himself, he heard Queen's shout echo. Over here, you bastard! Queen was outside, fighting Jelly head-on with all his might. So what if you're a high level? You scumbags don't think I'm afraid of you. That confrontation made Peter wonder why. Why can Queen face those guys directly? And me? Am I just going to be like this forever? Is there nothing I can do? Meanwhile, Queen, after fighting for a while, was drenched in sweat. A level 4 ability user is on a completely different level from the guys before, even though his ability looks ordinary, but in a real fight, he's much stronger than me. So, taking advantage of the moment, he inspected Jelly Brad. Health 25 out of 25. Race, human. Ability, hardening. Blood type, B positive. Whether it's close combat or localized defense, he has almost no weaknesses. Even his long-range attacks are this varied. Is this the difference in our fighting skills? Damn it. If only someone would teach me how to use my abilities. With that wish. Queen was transported into a blood-red space. Huh? What is this? A system with 2 glowing eyes activated. A notification suddenly appeared, leaving Queen completely confused. Request to activate combat training module. Current level, close combat level 1. A combat training module? Why does it always show up right when I'm in the middle of a fight? 2. At the same time, a vampire appeared and spoke, clarifying what he was wondering about. Time in this space does not flow the same as in the outside world. The sudden appearance made him jump. Whoa! The man smiled welcomingly. Welcome to the beginner's hand-to-hand combat course. I don't know how long it's been. If you can see me, that means you have become one of us. But after a moment of observation, Queen noticed a problem. He's not a real person. Is this a projection? So he spoke up, expressing his confusion. You mean a vampire? But the vampire didn't react, simply reciting a pre-programmed script. For the first lesson, I will teach you 2 hand-to-hand combat skills. Seeing the man didn't react to his words left him stunned. Can't he hear me at all? But it's fine. I need to learn some skills right now anyway. The vampire extended his hand. These 2 skills, one for offense and one for defense, complement each other. First is the defensive skill, named Quick Step. After learning it, Queen immediately used the skill in his fight with Jelly. Jelly couldn't land a hit, which confused him. How is this kid dodging all of my attacks? Could it be that he's been hiding his true strength all this time? Quick Step lets me teleport within a 5-meter range. The only problem is that it consumes a lot of stamina. In my current state, I can only use it 2 more times at most. Quick Step uses remaining 2. Seeing him dodge so easily, Jelly continued his assault, not forgetting to taunt him. Don't get cocky. With your stamina, let's see how long you can last. Quick Step uses remaining 1. Hearing that Jelly had noticed his weakness, he couldn't help but sigh. He's a sharp one, but this last use will be enough. So Queen seized the opportunity and threw a punch, landing it right in his stomach.
But at that exact moment, he managed to use hardening to defend, which made him more arrogant than ever.
Ha! I told you just don't learn, do you? Before he could finish his sentence, a wave of pain hit him. This pain was also caused by what the vampire had taught him. As for the offensive skill, it is the threaded punch. It can only be combined with other attack skills. The attack power will be doubled. At that moment, he poured his strength forward. 1. Use Bloodblade Pursuit, magnifying the pain several times over. Jelly was sent flying several meters away, leaving all the other students in disbelief. Jelly was defeated. Everyone was shocked by the unexpected sight.
Are you crazy? How could a guy with no ability beat Jelly?
The system immediately issued a quest. System quest. Defeat Jelly Brad. Random quest. Quest. Reward, 80 experience points. Bonus reward, all stats +1. After defeating him, he felt satisfied. I finally won. But while Queen wasn't paying attention, something attacked him. He couldn't dodge in time, and his HP dropped by 7 points, which he never expected. Damn it, just one hit cost me 7 whole health points. The system quickly used the blood bank to automatically restore HP. Health, 6 out of 20. Momo, holding his whip, stepped forward and stated grimly, I have to admit you've really caused me some trouble. I don't know how you did it, but once I get involved personally, it all ends here. Upon hearing those bold words, Queen couldn't help but scoff. Oh, you sure talk like a big shot. The words had barely left his mouth when another explosive attack sent him flying. He used Quickstep just in time to dodge. This guy, his power, is terrifying. I absolutely cannot get hit again. At that moment, he immediately used Bloodblade to attack, only to see the man reveal a disdainful look. When Queen attacked, he vanished again, leaving him in disbelief. It didn't hit. Before he could react, Momo beat him to a pulp once more. After those last few exchanges, he was truly exhausted. It's strange. He always seems to be one step ahead of me, as if he can predict my every move. My stamina is almost at its limit. I only have one more use of Quickstep, and my blood bank is nearly empty. Am I really going to die here today? I really can't even manage a smile anymore. Meanwhile, Layla was still fighting hard, but just then, a blade of water cut her, leaving a large gash on her arm. He slowly approached, sneering. Oh? Why don't you keep using that bow and arrow of yours? Right now, she was completely helpless, muttering, You damn bastard, don't get so cocky. From behind, Golden started shouting, Hey, let me go! He kept urging her, Hurry up, just touch me for a second, that's all it takes. His words made no sense to Layla. Huh? What is he talking about at a time like this? This pervert. Seeing her hesitation only made Golden more irritated. What are you thinking about? Just touch me anywhere. Hurry up, I have to go help Queen, he snapped. Layla reached out and touched him. Like this? All right. And with that, his power was restored. Okay, it's done. For some reason, Golden staggered and started cursing himself. You useless piece of trash. You couldn't even escape something like this. It's because that bastard's power is too weak. Shut up, all of you. If you want to help, then let me handle it. Watching this, she couldn't help but conclude, he really is a pervert. Suddenly, he fell silent. Seeing Golden quiet like that, the other guy approached with a look of contempt. Well, this is interesting. What can you possibly do now that it's come to this? Layla was genuinely worried about his current state. I'm afraid that twisted split personality of his is acting up again. Suddenly, he let out a fierce roar and shattered the ropes binding his hands. The others couldn't believe it. What? He broke free? He actually escaped the binding puppet jutsu? He stomped hard on the ground, then leaped high into the air, charging right at Mac with a furious killing intent. His face showed he was seemingly thrilled. Idan have finally returned. Seeing that Golden had broken his restraints, Mac sneered at his previous mistake. So you've escaped already? But one must learn from their experiences. Don't you remember what happened the last time you came looking for a fight with me? Faced with such mockery, Golden couldn't keep his cool. Is beating a weakling something to be proud of? I'm not like Golden. I'm not so easy to mess with. So it was his second personality speaking. His way of talking made the man completely confused. Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about, but it doesn't matter. As soon as he finished speaking, he charged forward. Die! Faced with the attack, Golden remained completely unfazed. He swiftly caught the whip without taking any damage. Mac witnessed this new strength. His guard immediately went up. This guy's power, it's on a whole other level. Not wanting Queen to get tangled up with him any longer, Golden stepped in. Queen, leave this to me. Go help the others. He saw that Golden was able to catch the whip.
He agreed immediately, but didn't forget to add a warning. All right, be careful. His ability is really strange. Golden, well aware, replied, I know. Mac quickly retracted his whip. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Then I'll have to teach you again. Golden didn't waste words and immediately used the power he received from Layla. Then both sides quickly launched attacks at each other. Faced with these assaults, he dodged as effortlessly as a feather, while Golden, instead of dodging, used his power to grab the whip and slam it into the ground. They were playing so dirty that another guy launched a sneak attack. Got him! But it's hard to say how successful it was when Golden took him down in one hit. Mac saw it was just the same old tricks and wasn't very interested. Nothing new, huh? You're going to try shooting me with those beast crystals again, aren't you? But Golden didn't seem to care whether he was interested or not. He attacked relentlessly, but every single blow was easily dodged by him. You know full well this move is useless against me. Queen was helping the others, but he was still keeping an eye on the fight between Mac and Golden. Even before Golden shoots the beast crystals, he already knows. And he's able to dodge perfectly every time. Could that guy's ability be precognition? With his quick mind, he finally realized his true ability. Golden didn't want to waste any more words on him, so he just focused on fighting. Who cares if you know what I'm going to do? The thing I've been wanting to do.